And welcome out to the old ball game here. That is, of course, Eagle Field in Harrisonburg, Virginia. On the Harrisonburg Turks. Here in the summer months, the boys of summer find themselves in first place coming out of the All-Star break. But there's one team for certain that can change that here tonight, and that's our opponent. The Front Royal Cardinals have come a-calling. They are in second place. The Turks at 17-7. The Cardinals at 18-9. And there's just no question these two teams have got a boatload of interesting players in terms of power and speed and pitching, all things you expect to see. These two teams battling for first place. So it's going to be another great night of baseball. We had just a as good as it gets all-star game event here, and the whole league turned out. I got the chance to bring some folks on the air from the different clubs, and we really talked. But I wanted to get some of the folks involved. The all-star games are notorious for exactly what we got, where you end up with a lot of players really getting steamrolled by the pitchers. A 2-1 ball game won by the South. Thomas Spitz of the Turks was the game's MVP. And we also had a very nice 60-yard dash contest that was won by Nick Sine of Front Royal. There's quite the confusion on that. Nick Sine was the winner, and he is sitting right at the top of the lineup for these Front Royal Cardinals in here tonight. But, this is the game in the Valley League, and the winner is going to be in first place. The Turks are coming in awfully high. Another 5-game winning streak in progress, 9-1 in their last 10. The Cardinals have struggled a little bit, 5-5. And just a combination of things, and the Turks have caught them. But yesterday's events were very interesting because we had a requisite number of scouts in town, like we always do, and with their judges' guns and stopwatches and all the things they want to see. But we had a huge wind blowing out to left field. It's not quite as big right now, but it's still probably about a 15-mile-an-hour clip. It was bigger than that yesterday, and the home run hitting contest was all that was advertised. You had a terrific number of players just hitting a bunch of home runs, but you really had Darian Carpenter from the Newmarket Rebels. He ended up winning that, but he had to really hit a bunch of home runs to do it. You had Hunter Newman from these very same Front Royal Cardinals. He's had a huge year. Tribeca Nazarene, a small school, but he's had a big summer. He's from Chapmanboro, Tennessee. He had a real big day. Went seesaw back and forth round after round. Michael McClellan from Waynesboro also had a real big home run hitting contest. But in the end, it was Carpenter who gets the win. Andrew Yasick also was the other. Charlestown's Andrew Yasick, very impressive looking kid. Very young, and he's just got a world of talent. And I think the scouts got what they were looking for. You see the three favorite players, Yasick, Newman, and then the eventual champion, Carpenter. And if you look at the Valley League webpage, you've got a picture there of Carpenter. But Haymarket Joe, the Valley Baseball League photographer, really captured the spirit of the whole thing. Carpenter going the bat at the camera, having this vanquished the field and conquer the field. We had a total of 14 home runs to win it. I believe it was Yasick who didn't even make the finals, and he had double-digit home runs to not even make the finals. So that's pretty impressive. The total is about 55 or 60 home runs with our competitors. Sheer entertainment value, you can't ask for much better than yesterday's home run hitting contest. We've all seen them at the Major League level where you're familiar with all the big-name players and all of that, but there were a bunch of players that we're not all that familiar with in that great home run contest. Outstanding. The crowd just loved it, no doubt about it. So for Front Royal tonight, when you look at that lineup, Nick Sine, speed at the top, and, Sheldon McCain, another all-star, batting third, Hunter Wheaton batting fourth. This team is fantastic. Evan Bickett, another all-star, will be doing the pitching for the Cardinals. So they're a team that certainly got the talent to go all the way. Harrisonburg, the All-Stars for the Turks did quite well. Matt Rose, he had a base knock, an RBI base knock it in Thomas Spitz. And, Eric Kelfleisch also had a base hit. He and Rose were also in the home run hitting contest. So represented well both teams, the Turks and the Cardinals. I mentioned that Harrisonburg is in first place by half game. Cardinals are in second place, 18-9. Waynesboro is 15-11. They're in third place. They've had a 3-7 last 10, so they're kind of slipping a little bit. But, their all-stars didn't show by their all-stars. Hot start earlier in the year. Waynesboro, after about 12-2 start, if I'm not mistaken, they certainly slipped back to the pack a little bit since then. The Charlestown Cannons, 14-11. 6-4 in their last 10. There's a whole bunch of teams from say 3 to 7 that are very, very similar. 3-4 good hitters, 2-3 good pitchers. I think the Delaware playoffs is going to be interesting because clearly anyone can beat anyone else. The Cannons are fourth place at 13-11. Stanton Braves are getting over 500 at 12-11, and they're hitting 311 as a team. That was a ridiculously high number. Testament to their talent, and do it with some power as well. So, Gunnar McNeil and James Vasquez, big flopper type hitters, they're definitely getting the job done for the Stanton Braves. Just a little bit more pitching, Stanton would certainly be up among the top 3 in the league. But they're 73 in their last 10. They're on the rise. All these Senators, they're also on the rise. They're riding a nice little winning streak. 13-12 for the Senators. 7-3 in their last 10. The Covington Lumberjacks 12-13, 3-7 in their last 10. So you can see a lot of these teams are kind of flip-flop positions as the last week of games has played out. Harrisonburg only had 2 games last week. We had a couple of rainouts. This game here was a rainout from last week. And then we also had a doubleheader rained out with the Covington Lumberjacks. That one was rescheduled for July 15. If you ever needed to look at the schedule and see the updates and all that, you can find it on DallasBaseball.com or HarrisonburgTurks.com. And you can look at that updated schedule. These schedules aren't necessarily figured out right away. Sometimes you take a game or 2 to work to figure out. Monday is traditionally the game of the week, the day of the week where the rain would be placed. You get the log jam and rain makeups. So we'll see. Some weather is supposed to come in later on in the week. You never really know what you're going to get. Some difficult areas to forecast. And sometimes the weather folks around here will get the standard isolated thunderstorms and prognosis. And that'll be just something that is it covers them, but you can get things completely isolated here, just like the word means. The other day, Newmarket was the only team to get their ball in the interstate. Bone Drive, the other park in Newmarket, which is about 30 minutes north of Harrisonburg, and absolutely everywhere around the Newmarket was nothing but a muddy deluge. So anyone that could have predicted that. So there's some variables. Man. These players are kind of old hat to it. The good thing about our field here at Harrisonburg is that we can take quite a bit of rain. It's that field. When you get that mound covered up, you have dirt on the field. You can take a pretty good amount of rain, even if it does puddle a little bit, 10, 15 minutes later, even if it puddles a lot, you're playing baseball, playing on the surface. Players have become really adept to these synthetic surfaces. Low maintenance approach. James Madison University here is kind of in the middle of that trend. You see certainly more teams follow suit and synthetic surfaces like this. You work true hops throughout. You also get not too many variables. Players that play all the time. They slide a little earlier, they slide maybe even a little bit slower if there is such a thing. I think for people that are head first sliders, they really got to be careful. They can go 2 and 3 bags pretty quickly and tag out on the other side. So you got to practice a little bit and get better. It's just one of those many things that you always got to factor in those little nuanced differences between the fields to have success. Actually, there was a team a few years ago that came up to the playoffs. It's usually Winchester and the Waynesboro Broncos. We could see the whole team in the outfield and practice. Pop-up style slide. It's pretty rare to see a coach take his team through the paces like that just to make sure that they're not getting away with slide. You definitely see that this is a game of details, and if you don't pay attention to the details, they will pay attention to you in a bad way. So, right back to the standings, the bottom 4 in the league right now are once again still just a game or 2 out of it. especially with the way some of the games have ended in slam dunk fashion and taking on innings. There's a lot of games that really swing on 1 or 2 hits in the 8th and 9th inning for many of these teams. And Stroudsburg Express 11-13. We had Jay Neal on the air yesterday. They had a tumultuous season. As featured only 2 games at their home park. They won them both. 7-3 in their last 10. Strasburg trying to get on track, get that train on track, and get themselves into the playoffs. They were in the finals last year. So Express has won them. Winchester Royals, they are 10-16 on the season. 4-6 in the last 10. Turks have Donnybrook. Ball score kind of game up there. Ridgewood Field 13-7. Debbie on their hit there. Newmarket was 8-17. They definitely had an up and down season. 2-8 in their last 10. And Woodstock River Bandits, who were really on the top 2 teams in pitching until recently, they're 7-17, 3-7 in their last 10. Harrisonburg has had some very close games with Woodstock. It's been played better here and there. Put together a big comeback of Boston Bandits a couple of nights ago. Also had Matt Rose hit a 9th inning home run to beat the Bandits. So there'll be some very close games with the Bandits. So we're looking at first and last, and just look at those individual games. Woodstock certainly could easily have a couple of wins in those games against the Harrisonburg Turks. This is a good time of year to zero in on the Turk statistics. Obviously, the Turks have had some all-stars and had a great season. But take a look at the overall stats for their club. Thomas Spitz, baseball all-star MVP. He's having a rough week overall, but despite the fact the Turks only had 2 games last week, I think the all-star game nod would also give Thomas Spitz the Turks Player of the Week. The biggest advance of the week. He was the all-star game of that event, so that's what trumped the fact that he had a 1-10 stretch going. His first one of the year dropped him down to 326. Matt Rose, of course, leads he scored 367 on his big number. Leads the team in RBIs with 21. He's got 4 big flies. He's got 15 home runs on the year. He's got 1 year at Eagle Field. Turn that around, begin going into the left field. Powerful team with the world, second batting average with the Turks, Luke Chakowski. I spoke with the parents before the ball game. He was 10. Lucas flipping along at 340. He has had 16 hits on the season, 15 singles, and then got off that home run tonight. The deep fly, right up there at Winchester. He got 9 runs batted in on the year. He's having a great year. Makes a lot of contact. He's struck out 6 times to 47 plate. That's definitely an unexpected surprise. Chakowski was coming from the course. He had a freshman year, maybe a sophomore year. Didn't play much over in Wake Forest, but very seldom you're not going to have some of these players that have first of all goes down and really special players. Maybe we'll have some consistency with a constant upward trend. Baseball doesn't necessarily work like that all the time. So that's what Thomas Spitz on 126. Eric Kelflash is at 284. Eric hit 347 was last year. First overall out of last year. 284. Slashes the ball around. Thomas Smith is at 273, and Thomas was another guy hit well over 300 last summer. Thomas might find his number 3 higher. Stephen
From the 1-0 from Duke University, number 30, J.R. Holloway.
Also, a great player. You're going to have a hard time pushing Luke Chakowski.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask that you please rise as we do honor America here at Veterans Memorial Park by playing our national anthem.
For playing time. We're going to pause now for our national anthem.
That was just a little prelude. Here is Laura Rupel from Harrisonburg High School, a student who will be playing the violin tonight with our national anthem.
Rendition of our national anthem, other than Turks baseball. I can't think of any person else that you would get that. Well done, well done. And all the interesting versions of the national anthem, we're always open to those. I nearly had a bluegrass band on the hook to come out and do a bluegrass national anthem. So at some point we're going to make that happen. If it doesn't happen, I might have to bust out my computer, do my own, bring down the level of quality to an all-time level. I say that just to embarrass the people with actual musical talent that show up in the national anthem. Right-hander J.R. Holloway getting the tune-up tosses for the Turks. Righty-righty matchup here tonight. The lineup for the front row Cardinals. Nick Sine will be in center field. He'll lead it off. Tyler Tishner will be at second base. He'll bat second. Shell McLean in right field will swing third. Hunter Newman at first base will bat cleanup. Ryan Cleveland, the designated hitter, will be batting fifth. Spencer Wolf will do the catching. He'll bat sixth. Zach Beckner, the shortstop, will bat seventh. Ricky Reyes will be at third base batting eighth. Umar Kato will be in left field batting ninth. And the All-Star, Evan Mickett, on to the bump for the front row Cardinals. For the homestanding are red-hot Harrisonburg Turks. Thomas Fitz in the usual center field spot, leading off. Christopher Barr at first base, will bat second. Thomas Smith at second base, will swing third. Eric Kelpley is in left field, batting fourth. Jesse Baker is in right field. Brandon Gold is at third base batting sixth. Joey Roach doing the catching is batting seventh. The designated hitter tonight is Luke Chakowski batting eighth. And Stephen McLean will bat in his usual batting spot. He is, of course, at shortstop. Holloway, right-hander. I'll have some stats on him in just a minute. Nick Sine digs in here, right-handed hitter. Speed. Sine won the 60-yard dash contest at yesterday's All-Star festivities. 6.2 for 60. That is fast. Now the first pitch is looked a little up and in, called strike one. Sine steps out. He and the home plate umpire with a friendly little moment there to start the game. Sine at 363. Next pitch also high and tight. That one is a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 363, 17 stolen bases. He has been caught 7 times. 17 steals at basically the midpoint of the season. I'm impressed. 1-1 pitch. There it is. Good fastball by J.R. Holloway. One ball and 2 strikes. Holloway has a sign he likes from Roach. Winds up and deals. Just missed on the outside. Holloway from Duke University. Prototype pitcher size. 6'4", 220-pounder. That is the mold. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Sine. Little liner and down for a base hit to right center. Just over the outstretched glove. Thomas Smith on the lead. Sine is in business once again. Ticking that 363 up a little higher.
Batting second, the second baseman, number 1.
Cardinals starter. Comes Tyler Kitchener there. Left-handed swinging second baseman. Medium knee for Sine so far. Now he lengthens it out. Holloway will throw over right away. This Mubarak gets a slap tag on him. Holloway at 6'4", 220. You're usually don't figure a right-hander that size is going to be holding runners well. But we'll see. It's always a challenge with a guy like Nick Sine on the sack. He throws over again, and they have got him picked off. A huge play. Sine got caught leaning, and Holloway put that ball exactly about shin high on the front corner of the base. And Christopher Barr was able to make the catch and quickly get a tag out there. And Sine is picked off. Holloway says, "You got me for a base hit, and I got you for out number 1." Fastball in there for a strike to Tyler Kitchener. You've seen a big zone so far. Even in 5 pitches thrown, you've seen a couple off the edge called. 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, like a little changeup there from J.R. Holloway. Kitchener had 232 on the season. 0-2 pitch. Chopped up the middle. Stephen McLean will take it. Through the first is not in time. Great speed by Kitchener. It was a high chopper. McLean had to come in, grab the ball between second base and the mound. So it's good and hard in front of home plate. That nice high chopper there really took away the
third, number 10.
Fielded it well. Hit number 2 for Front Royal. And boy, that runner picked off certainly looms large now. I think everyone would have been safe on that chopper. Michelle McLean, 348 for McLean. Chopped foul, third base side, no balls and 1 strike. Top of the first inning. Long shadows stretching out toward right field here. McLean, the Turk shortstop, and Gold on the left side, both sporting sunglasses. Quick throw to first. No trouble getting back for Tyler Kitchener. Nick Sine, Hunter Newman, and Shell McLean. 348, 357, 352, and 363. No question that the Royals, top of this order, can cause some trouble. Holloway comes set. He deals. Ground ball base hit in the left field. Fastball jumped on by McLean. Hit number 3 for Front Royal. Cardinals are as advertised. Very good.
Number 25, Hunter Newman.
Here comes Hunter Newman now. The good thing for Cardinal fans is Newman's coming up with men on base. He's already got 27 runs knocked in. McLean in front of him with 21. So that tells you that McLean has been cleaning the bases off, and Newman still has 27 runs batted in. 5 big flies add to that. Slider missed outside by Holloway. 1 ball, no strikes. You want to face hitters like McLean and Newman with first base open. So if you get deep into a count, you don't necessarily have to give in on a 3-1 pitch. So you don't have that luxury here. Grounded out toward third, and Gold is up with it on the dive. Throws to second in time. Go to first is not in time. Heck of a play by Brandon Gold. Pounced on it, got up enough to make a throw over to his college teammate Thomas Smith. at second to get the middle runner. Now with runners at first and third, Turks will have a chance to get out of this unblemished. Ryan Cleveland, the designated hitter, comes up there now. Another good-sized kid. A whole bunch of front row Cardinals look like the football teams in town. Georgia Southern University. Pitch is down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. First and third. Holloway throws soft toss over to first there. Hunter Newman not really a threat to run, but often teams will try this first and third situation. Either get a cheap steal at second or maybe a back end steal at home. The other short lead over there so far. 1-0 pitch, strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. J.R. Holloway. And to get in the dugout with zeros. Fastball missed down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pretty good pitch there. Certainly a pitch you can see someone rounding to the right side. Cleveland won the season 205. Chopped out towards second base. Thomas Smith will surround it, and he throws the ball at first. There are 2 runners left on. The front Royal. And the Turks give up 3 hits, but somehow no runs. Huge pickoff for Nick Sine at first base. The Turks headed to the bat rack. Slowest ball game in the first inning here from Harrison.
Valley Baseball League promotes good sportsmanship by our student athletes, coaches, administration, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, or any other team representative will not be tolerated. Any grounds for removal from the ballpark. In the pitching battery for Front Royal, doing the catching, number 21, Spencer Wolf. And on the mound from Indiana University Southeast, for 35, Evan Bickett.
Bottom of the first inning here. Harrisonburg and the Front Royal Cardinals battle for first place. On the hill for Front Royal, the right-hander, Evan Bickett. Drops down sidearm style. Bickett, the right-hander, in his senior year at Indiana University Southeast. He's having a very nice summer. 1-1 record, 1.54 earned run average. This is just his second start of the season. He does have 2 saves to his credit. Thomas Spitz will lead off. Strike on the outside corner. A wide zone here we've seen already, so these hitters have got to be on their toes. Cover the edges of the plate and a little bit more. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Bickett is a quick worker. Kind of picture, if I always use my Oriole pitchers as comparison, maybe a Darren O'Day. Chopped foul right there at the plate, 0-2. Very short, compact little windup. Bent over at the waist. Turks had a reliever, Steven Stick. Pitch very similar to this. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. A breaking ball delivered from that underhand sidearm release point. Actually gives the illusion of rising. Release point down maybe 7 or 8 inches off the ground on that one. Ends up above the waist, sort of on the rise. He strikes out Spitz. Here comes Christopher Barr now. First pitch misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. This type of pitcher, it's difficult to get the ball up in the air. Hit hard down the right field line, off of the first baseman's glove. There'll be no one covering first, and Barr will have himself a single. Really scorched that, popped in and out of the glove of Hunter Newman. Ended up between Newman's position and the second baseman out there, Tishner. But really not enough time for Evan Bickett to get over and cover first. Christopher Barr would have beaten it to the bag. So hit number 1 for the Turks. A little scorch shot there by Barr. Probably should have been caught, but you figured as hard as it was hit, it's a benefit of the doubt kind of thing, and Barr gets the hit. Here comes Thomas Smith now. He'll throw to first. He even throws sidearm over to first. Haven't really gotten a chance to see much of Barr on the bases as far as speed-wise. He's had some lower leg injuries. He's got a real nice leader there now. Dives back in there. So both pitchers so far are very hypersensitive about base runners. Pitch to Smith in there for a strike. Bickett comes over, gets set. Swung on and missed. Almost looked like a pitch out there. A little foul tipped into the glove. Catcher Spencer Wolf up out of his crouch making the catch on that. Either got crossed up on the pitch that was thrown, or maybe a pitch out was thrown. Or he was standing up, he was making the catch. Thomas Smith at 273 coming in, 18 for 66. 3 doubles, 11 runs knocked in. There is a formal pitch out there. We're expecting Barr to get going. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Smith. Smith has struck out 6 times in 66 at-bats. That is a ratio you can live with. Native Fort Pierce, Florida, is Thomas Smith. He'll throw to first, nearly had him picked off. Christopher Barr got leaning the wrong way there and got back just in time. Bickett is kind of quick on his rotation from the pitching rubber. He rotates around quickly, but really doesn't get rid of the ball over to first all that quickly because he uses that underhand sidearm delivery over to first as well. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, pop foul right side. Going to remain 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Freezing Bob, compliments of City Motors Company, South Main Street, Harrisonburg. Check the Carfax at City Motors on South Main Street in Harrisonburg.
Throw to first again. Conventional throw over this time, not sidearm. Bickett maybe trying to get a little quicker over there. Realized he might have had Barr. And he got caught leaning just a minute ago. Big lead by Barr again. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. I think Smith ended up swinging a pitch out of the zone, but I've seen some calls out there for strikes by both these pitchers. So Smith expanded the strike zone.
Number 9, Eric
not able to get a piece of it. So 2 outs and 1 on for the Turks here in the bottom of the first. I'm going to bring up Eric Kelfleisch. Breaking ball. Floated in there a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Bickett and pitchers like him are just different to the hitters because of the different release point. There's ball 2 outside. If you had a whole staff of guys that threw similar to this, the hitters would get used to it, but you can go weeks and weeks and not see someone coming at you like Bickett is. That in itself is going to get you out a couple of times. 2 of pitches foul back to the screen. Kelfleisch is an extremely good low ball hitter. As a lot of left-hand hitters with big talent are, they just have a knack of getting to that pitch that's down and in, whereas a right-hand hitter, down and in is usually a hole for most right-hand hitters. There goes the runner, 2-1 pitches, that's down and in for a ball, and Barr is in there safely. Pretty good throw from the Cardinal catcher, Spencer Wolf, but the pitch just didn't have much speed on it, despite the fact Wolf did everything right once he got it. Just did not have much time left to get Christopher Barr. and he's in scoring position. The pitch was a ball, so now a 3-1 count to Keldfleisch. Bickett deals. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Painting that edge, and Bickett is a quick study. You're going to give me those edges, I'm going to take them. Anything that keeps me out of the middle of the plate. 3-2 breaking ball, swung on and missed. Good looking pitch there. Both pitchers pitched themselves out of trouble. 1 left on for the Turks. 1 inning in the books, headed for the top of 2. Scoreless ball game battle for first place here in the Valley League.
Baseball fans, get out your ticket stubs. We're going to draw for the first of a number of prizes that we do have today this evening. Coming up first will be Chick-fil-A. Giving away 2 free chicken sandwiches, free chicken sandwiches, free chicken, free chicken, free chicken. Get your free Chick-fil-A meal by visiting the Chick-fil-A. Dress like a cow this coming Friday. You dress like a cow, the bread cow, of course, and they give you a free meal. Simple as that. See you Cal class this Friday for 11 for winning numbers to start things off this evening. Last 3 numbers are 050, 050, and 143. 050 and 143. That number coming up for the best spots is plenty of your prize.
Count the second inning. Dennis Wolf will lead off here for the Cardinals. 6 foot, 225-pounder. He'll be going into his senior year at Shepherd College. And we've seen he's pretty darn good behind the plate. Holloway kicks and deals. Fastball chopped right there in the box off of Wolf's front ankle. He's hopping around, having a little walkabout. Doesn't look like he has one of those protectors on his front foot, so he's a guy that doesn't do that very often. J.R. Holloway, this is his 3rd appearance in the year. They've all been starts. He's 1-0, 5.62 earned run average. He's pitched 8 innings, 13 hits in those 8 innings. He has struck out 6 and walked just 3. So very short set of stats for J.R. so far. Hometown is Dripping Springs, Texas. Sounds awesome. Hot state of Texas. 1 pitch. Going outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pretty steady wind, call it 5-10 miles an hour straight out to the left here so far. 1-1 pitch, pop foul, right side, back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Turks on a 5-game winning streak, and they've done it in a variety of ways, including a huge rally against the Woodstock River Rams. Trailed 8-1 in the 5th. Only to win by 5 runs in that game. Slider had the plate but low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mastered the big inning. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. I think you had a guy looking for something on the outside in Spencer Wolf because the outer edges have been called a little. And Holloway painted that inside corner. Good running fastball. And you get fooled a little bit.
Number 2 is
sometimes you just got to freeze and take it. It's in the spot where you wouldn't be able to do much with it anyway. Here comes Zach Beckner. Orton shortstop. Fastball right up to the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Hit hard in the left field for a base hit. Beckner jumped on a high fastball. Spanks one in the left field. I was about to say he's hitting 200 now. He didn't like that number. He said, notch that up a touch. Considered bingo to left there for Beckner. So 1 out and 1 on. That'll bring up Ricky Reyes, first baseman.
Ricky Reyes.
Right-hand swinger. That's Ricky. Laredo, Texas. Plays for Georgetown College. There goes the runner, ground ball right back to the mound. Holloway juggles it briefly. His only play will be first, where he throws out Ricky Reyes. And Reyes almost did not give me enough time to wish him happy birthday. Happy birthday, Ricky Reyes. You are 0 for 1. Also, my nephew Alan in Maryland. Happy birthday. Omar Cotto now.
Left fielder, number 27.
There in left field. I need to look up some Omar Cotto information. I didn't do it before the game. I remember a major leaguer named Henry Cotto, outfielder as well. Pretty darn good. Played a lot for the Mariners, a little bit for the Yankees. Holloway misses down and in to Cotto. Cotto is not a common name. Hometown's listed as Guaynabo, I believe it's Puerto Rico. He plays for Southern Cal. 5'11", 195. Slider missed down and in. 2 balls and no strikes to Omar Cotto. We don't have any stats on Cotto. He is a switch hitter. Batting from the left side, of course, against the right-hander. 2-0 pitch. Little change up there. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. So next to no stats on Cotto. So you're not going to find much help on the front royal side. We're going to go to the Southern Cal site and see if I can find some information. See if I'm actually chopped out toward right field, through there for a base knock. Jesse Baker is up with it, and his throw to the plate is very high. Wild throw. 1 run is scored, and Cotto goes down to second easily on the play. So Baker is very erratic out there in right field. Kind of got to it in a clumsy way. Came up late. I think he sensed that and really uncorked a wild throw. If body language says anything, Baker not real happy with himself. I think he's going to have a hard time getting the runner anyway. Beckner is wrong over there. 1-0 front Royal, and back to the top of the order. Nick Sine. Sine right around 370. 3 for 1 already in this one. Pop straight back, no balls and 1 strike on the field. Sine, Tishner, and McCain are due, and all 3 of them got a base hit in the first. Somehow, the big pickoff of Sine being the answer, the Cardinals were held scoreless. The 1 pitch, outside corner, checked his swing in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, and Omar Cotto is at second. Looks like he runs pretty well. Holloway deals. There goes Cotto. Late break for third. Throw to third. And he is in there. Close bang bang play. In Golden, the Turks think they had him there. Infield umpire with a 2-man crew has got a really good angle on that one. It was a bang bang play. Could have gone either way. Good speed by Cotto. He didn't really have a huge lead off second. One ball and 2 strikes, and that's kind of an odd move, really. You can make the final out at third there, and leave Sine standing in the batter's box. The guy hits 370. Check swing, and this ball is going to go right back to Holloway, and he'll underhand to Barr for out number 3. So right off the bottom knob, looks like Sine was trying to check his swing. He's got kind of a wry smile on there. So we got to check the swing, and the ball hit off the bottom knob and right back to Holloway. So 1 run is all the scores for Front Royal. So the Turks are in the fortunate sums here so far. Back in a minute was more Turks baseball. Harrisonburg with their second swing of the night.
Also on tap this evening in the Valley Baseball League, Waynesboro is at Winchester. Albee visits Kent, and Strasburg takes the short track to Woodstock. Leading off for the Turks, the right fielder number 4, Jesse Baker.
First pitch to Jesse Baker misses outside. Evan Bickett deals again. That's also outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Bickett deals again. And high. 3 balls and no strikes. So Baker trying to be the table setter here for the Turks. Matt Rose absent from the lineup for Harrisonburg. That's kind of shifted a few guys around. Hope everything's all right with Matt. He might just be getting a customary day off. In there, 4 strikes, 3 balls, 1 strike. I doubt it. I doubt there's just a day off going on because Turks really have not played much in the last week, and Rose looked perfectly fine yesterday. 3-1 pitch is popped straight back, and good work by Bickett here to battle his way back into the at-bat. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. Little flare out toward right center, dropping in a hurry and good speed. From the front row right fielder, Shell McLean, comes in, makes the squeeze. Out number 1. McLean looks like someone that moves a little better than your average garden variety.
Third baseman, number 14, Brandon Gold.
That's Brandon Gold now. Brandon's kind of been sitting around that 250, 255 mark for quite a while. Fastball pops the glove for strike 1. Next pitch just missed inside. A lot of movement on the pitches from Bickett with that underhand submarine release point. Nothing comes out of that hand straight. Fastball, don't know where that was. Must have been high. And plenty to the plate there. 2-1. Two on the goal. Chop down toward third base. Big second hop. Throw to first is low and in time. Just did get gold. Bang bang play over there at first. Just did get gold. Good play by Hunter Newman. Hunter kind of popped off the bag quickly there and then bought himself on him. That was a bang bang play.
Number 8, Joey Roach.
Coach Weiss hands on the hips. I think he didn't like to call it third on the stolen base by Cotto, and he didn't like that one there. Both of those were toss-the-coin calls for sure. 2 quick outs now. Here comes Joey Roach. There's a strike outside corner with that good running fastball. 0-1 hit hard is the right center field. That ball's really tattooed. It'll get down. But Roach is thinking about 2. He will think better of it. Good throw by Sine from the alley. Would have pegged Roach. So 2-out single from Joey Roach. Roach definitely continues to pretty good trend.
Number 15,
Pretty well. Trying to get off that low number just above 200. Joey's had his share of doubles and home runs though. to drive that number, a little bit more valuable. I'll bring up Luke Chakowski. There's a strike to Luke. No balls and one strike. Chakowski from Wake Forest University. Strike two. Fastball right down the chute. Roach on base at first, not a real threat to steal. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Whistle ball, breaking ball from the underhand sidearm style. A lot of movement. You get ahead in the count, you can get guys to chase. 2 innings in the books. 1-0 Buffalo Cardinals over the Harrisonburg Turks.
Down to the playing field for a little fast food foot race here.
All right, Turks fans, how are we feeling tonight? Jake, did you hear them? Oh, I can hear them. How you doing, Turks fans? Good work, guys. Now we got the fast food race. We have Jonathan as the hot dog. We have Kane as the fries. We have Alejandro as the hamburger. The winner of the race will receive whatever they wear from the concession stand. All right, boys. On your mark. Get set. Go! And the French fries down in front. Followed by the hot dogs. Coming around the turn. Who's going to be? We know the cutoff finish. It's the French fries. Remember, folks, you can all of these food at the concession stand.
Early scores, Waynesboro leading Winchester 2-1 at the top of the fourth. Top of the third, stand 1-0. Carlsberg and Woodstock look to get underway.
Top of the third inning here. No ball game. They don't want to call from Harrisonburg, Virginia. Leading off for the Buffalo Cardinals is Tyler Kitchener. Already 1 for 1. Strike on the outside corner from Holloway. There's a little off there. 2-seam fastball. A 1 pitch. The 4-seam fastball. Grounded short. McLean takes it on 2 hops. Throw it first just in time. Even McLean, you could tell he wanted to charge that ball. Got caught in between the hop there. Up to the task though. Got rid of it quickly. McLean's not a big arm shortstop. I think that he understands that he's got to do everything right to get rid of the ball quickly. Some of the best shortstops in Major League history were not big arm shortstops. Avi Smith and even the vaunted Derek Jeter, not big arm shortstops. Fastball swung on and missed. You don't have a big bazooka to bail you out. Shell McLean already 1 for 1. A 1 pitch. Slider way outside. Hunter Newman on deck. The Turks would love to see him with the bases empty. 1-1, swung on and missed. A changeup from J.R. Holloway. He's used that to good effect. An aggressive group of swingers here at the head of the Cardinals lineup, mainly because that works for them. It can be. 1-2 pitches, low and outside on the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. When you have a lot of talent, you can make a lot of contact. You're more of a free swinger because it's working for you. 2-2 pitch. Hit high and deep to left field. This ball is really tattooed. Run number 2 on the board. A home run hitting contest worthy home run there. Shell McLean jumped on one. Solo home run for McLean. That's exactly why you want to see Hunter Newman with the bases empty. So McLean as well.
Second Valley League home run.
So a nice deep fly by Shell McLean, and the Cardinals lead 2-0. I think the Cardinals would have liked to have had one in the first. For all rights, should have had one. The Turks, things sitting here 2-0. Not the worst case scenario. Fastball inside to Hunter Newman. When you guess dead red fastball, and you've got the talent to jump on it, you're occasionally going to get some balls just like that. At the right pitch, and you was waiting for it. Popped out towards center field. Spitz is going back. This ball is really carrying, and up against the wall. Spitz comes up with it, juggles it briefly, and it's going to be a turn the corner double for Hunter Newman, and there's no question the ball is carrying here at the ballpark tonight. That one went about 395 and bounced right in front of the 400-foot sign in center field. I know Hunter Newman's good and strong. He got that up in the air. He got another 20 feet. And no one expected, especially Spitz. Rocket shot. Home run, and now a booming double with one out. That'll bring up Ryan Cleveland. 0 for 1 so far for Cleveland. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Sine, Titchener, McCain, and Newman. That's a quartet that is going to cause everyone a little bit of trouble as they have all year. Speed, hit for average, hit for power. 0-1 pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cleveland. Cleveland does have 2 home runs. Balk has been called. Holloway is not quite sure what he did. An infield umpire kind of demonstrates to him that he held the ball and came out of the stretch position. I didn't see exactly what was called a balk, but a balk's been called, and over to third base was Hunter Newman. 0-2 pitch to Cleveland. Foul back to the screen. Good situation for Cleveland here. This is a good time that you can deliver that run without benefit of a hit. It's a ground ball. I'm surprised the Turks aren't bringing the infield in a little bit. They're very deep in the middle with McLean and Smith. Holloway deals. Down and in, blocked nicely by Roach. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Holloway in need of a strikeout or pop-up or something like that. 1 run in the inning for the Cardinals. Holloway deals. Strong arm and missed. A little bit of anger on that 4-seam fastball. Holloway not happy with the balk call. I think he turned that aggression into some focus there. Back up to measure miles per hour. And he brings up the big strikeout of Cleveland. So here comes Spencer Wolf. Spencer is 0 for 1. Slider low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Wolf was also a Valley League All-Star. 0 for 2 in that ball game. Fastball missed down low. 319 on the season for Wolf. I think the majority of the really complete player type catchers are in the North this season. Spencer is from my home state. He's from Huntingtown, Maryland. 2-0 pitch is high. Oh, got a piece of it. Brushed him on the left shoulder going by. On the middle speed breaking ball, just got a piece of the left arm of Wolf with the uniform ruffler. And he heads down to first with 2 outs. Joey Roach will head to the mound, and so will pitching coach Jason Kuhn. This may have as much to do with strategy in a first and third situation as it does getting Holloway back in that strike zone. So much about success is having an experienced coach like Coach Kuhn impart that temperament. It's like, okay, what's going right here, what's going wrong here, what do we need to do to get things back on track. And that next pitch is a product of that change of attitude, change of mindset. Zach Beckner will dig in there now. Holloway deals, bounce straight back. Good hard slider by Holloway. right on it. Scooped under a little back to the screen. 2-0 Cardinals, top of the third. Looking to add some more runners at first and third, 2 outs. Fastball missed low outside. Beckner is 1 for 1, and he scored a run in the second. Fastball had to play for the road. 2 balls and 1 strike. Beckner's from Lebanon, Ohio. And then his sophomore year at Kent State University. Big lead by Wolf. He stays. Chopped down toward third. Gold's only play will be first. Gets rid of it in time. Brendan Gold showing that arm in a big time right there. 2 runners left on Royal. Like the fact that they're 2-0 lead here. Swing away. 4 or 5 kind of ball game here and there. So Darryl Holloway has been touched a little bit. He's done a great job.
Hours a day.
There's the bottom of the third, battle for first place.
And
Going there right here in the early going. 2-0 Warriors.
192. If you have a winning number anytime this evening, come up here in the press box and claim your gift certificate. Leading off for the Turks, the shortstop, number 7, Stephen McLean.
Bottom of the third inning, bottom of the order for the Turks. Stephen McLean will lead things off. First pitch is in there for a strike. McLean, Spitz, and Barr do here. Just 2 hits surrendered so far by Evan Bickett. Pitch to McLean way outside. Bickett with as short a stride and release to the plate as you'll ever see. He's in that stretch position, like a reliever normally is with men on. Just a short little stride, recoil and throw. Rounded out towards second base, takes a little bit of a funny hop. McLean hustles it out, but he's thrown out there. Tyler Kitchener on the plate for the Cardinals. That'll bring up Thomas Spitz.
Back to the top of the Turks order from the Bulldogs.
2 runs on 7 hits.
Center fielder Thomas
For the
Spitz.
Cardinals. No runs on 2 hits for the Turks. Pitch to Spitz is a chopped foul right into the Turks dugout on the third base side. It's a little overcast here at the ballpark. A sunny, blustery day, much like yesterday here in Shenandoah Valley. Next pitch is in there for a strike. Bottom of the knees on the outside corner. A big zone from the first pitch all night. Breaking ball popped up. Coming back, unplayable for the Cardinal catcher and caught for out number 2. Good job by Spencer Wolf.
Stepping to the batter's box for the Miami Hurricanes.
That's a stranger with a submarine pitcher. Very hard to
Christopher Barr.
get a hold of one and be underneath of it. Credit to Bickett. We got guys changing their approach here. Spitz is more of a hit down the ball type guy. Here's Barr. First pitch missed down low. Barr has one of the 2 Turk hits, hit a smash line drive, scored it out of the Cardinal first baseman Hunter Newman's glove. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. Ours family has a real nice view of the action right behind home plate, 4 or 5 rows back. 1-1 breaking ball in there for a strike. Late breaking pitch there. That drew the groans from everyone. I think the Cardinal and Turk hitters had better be ready to swing the bat here. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Little foul tipped into the glove, and Barr is struck out.
The Turks, no runs.
Not too many friends with it. I think it's definitely a game where you gotta do some things with the bat. Not really guys working too deep into the count on the shoulders. 2-0 ball game. Terrific job here happened by Evan Pickett. He threw the skate out of the middle of the plate, on the edges, exactly what the finesse kind of pitcher needs to be doing.
Speaking of Smoothie King, a little rain freeze contest coming up here on the playing field.
That's right, Colin. We have the Smoothie King Rain Freeze Challenge. We have Christina over here. We have Jordan and Joey. Whoever chugs their smoothie and gets a rain freeze the quickest will win the gift card for promoting the Smoothie Jam. All right, guys, you ready? On card, get set, go! Joey's really putting it down right now. I think he's going to lead. Christina with the win. And Joey's in disbelief. Yeah, Christina's going home with the gift card. Let's see how Smoothie King.
From Georgetown College, the third baseman, Lieutenant Ricky Reyes.
Top of the 4th inning. Ricky Reyes will lead it off for the Cardinals. It's going to be Reyes, Cotto, and Sine. Fastball hit hard, foul, third base side. Trumped right on that Holloway fastball. No balls, 1 strike. Turks have had a lot of success getting into other clubs' bullpens this summer. Hot foul straight back over top the roof here. No balls and 2 strikes.
There's a turnout foul ball in the section 10 for the compliments of City Motors.
Reyes is 0 for 1. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Holloway. Strike 3 called. Good four-seamer. Inside corner. You've got a big-time fastball. You can still lock guys up. That's a pitch that's hard to get to, even if you know it's
coming. Now, left fielder Omar Cotto.
Here comes Omar Cotto, and in brief moments between innings, I did look up some information on Omar. He's 1 for 1 already. Really not in. He is from Puerto Rico, listed as San Juan. Swung on. No, he pulled it back, pulled it, bunt attempt back, takes the ball down low. No, he flashed it out there far enough. He did not. 1 ball, no strikes. No for a ball. And Omar, best I can tell, is not a relation to Henry Cotto, major leaguer. Omar had a big track background. Got him from Puerto Rico to USC. Fastball in there for a strike. Rare to have a guy in the 9 spot with the elite speed like that. See if we can translate that into the baseball side of things. But ran a variety of races. 100, 400. Fastball outside for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike to Cotto. So that tells us that he's not a guy you want to give a free ticket down at first.
Oh, I got that. That's my other pocket.
Holloway deals 3-1. Low for a ball, and Cotto does have himself a ball. That'll bring up Sine, 1 for 2.
Center fielder Nick Sine.
picked off in the first. Immediately, 2 more hits followed his pickoff. 1 run in the second, 1 in the third for Front Royal, and that's where we stand, 2-0. Good lead for Cotto over there. Holloway deals. Strike on the outside corner. Another pitch about 4 inches outside. No balls and 1 strike. There goes Cotto. Pitches low and outside. Roach's throw to second is, not in time. Bounced into the bag hard. Cotto slid in there hard. And he's going to come up and walk around a little bit. Hard slide, feet first, and boy, did he thump into the bag extremely hard. Stephen McLean, Turk shortstop, just looking down, kind of shaking his head like, oh, that's a tough one, kid. A little empathy there. He went into second hard, just clunked. I think that no one would have been surprised if he had a leg injury. He was shaking it off. He's got himself a steal. 1-1 pitch to Sine. Inside for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. So Speedy Cotto gets himself a steal. Cotto coming into a team that's already pretty potent. That is a nice addition at this point in the season. 2-1 pitch squared around. Did he go or not? Hopefully umpires made no signal as to whether he went around, whether it was a strike. Okay, now we know it's a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Holloway deals. Low for a ball, and Cotto going to head to third. Throw to third is no signal from the infield umpire. Safe. Maybe they're giving some verbal signals. That was another play that was pretty close, but Cotto beat it. But infield umpire gave no signal with his arms. So good speed. Ball 4 got away from Roach, only about 4 or 5 feet. Cotto had gotten himself a big secondary lead at second. And as soon as he saw it squirt away from Roach, he headed it on over to third. So with 1 out runners at first and third for Tyler Titchener. Hop foul, third base side. No balls and 1 strike. And this is a situation where the Royals are really in business. You've got Cotto with great speed at third. Sine with 17 steals already at first. Good contact hitter in Titchener at the plate. A lot of possibilities and nothing but power in the next 2 batters. McCain and Newman. Quick throw to first, and Sine dives back in there. The only thing that might keep the Royals from sending Sine is the fear of getting him thrown out. Maybe pulling the plug on this inning with your thumpers coming up. McCain homered his last at bat, remember. Sine's got a bigger lead. There he goes. Little delayed steal, and there'll be no play. Roach had made a little pump fake throw to get Cotto to retreat to third. But even with a really bad jump at first base there, Sine with great recovery speed got himself back on track to steal at second pretty easily. So runners at second and third, 1 ball, 1 strike to Titchener. Holloway deals. Good flare out towards shortstop, and in there for a base hit. McLean gave it a game effort on a dive, but a little cue shot to left field. Definitely, you could stand there at home plate and throw it to 140 feet to end up where it just did. You couldn't do it any better than Titchener just did that with the bat. Absolutely a seeing-eye single. 1 run scores for the Cardinals. There goes the runner, and he's going to steal second base. Holloway kind of got caught napping there. Smith was late to the bag, but Holloway didn't even make a throw. And Titchener steals second as Holloway gets caught napping. And now the Turks will bring the infield in. Well, Smith is still back. McLean is in at shortstop. Fastball is low for a ball to Shell McLean. 1 ball and no strikes. Runners at second and third. Speedy ones in that. Sine at third. Titchener at second. 1-0 pitch. Chopped out towards shortstop. McLean will come to the plate now. He'll go to first. Thought about it. McLean little double pump action. McLean is come up a little bit lame. The Turk shortstop come up a little bit lame. He's heading right into foul territory here. Did a little double pump. Sort of threw off the wrong leg a little. Got the out at first base. To get the runner at home, he would have had to make a quick and perfect throw to get Nick Sine, who can really run, was already into kind of a slide low mode. But the bigger story now is Stephen McLean twisted that left knee a little bit. He's going to return to shortstop. The trainer looked at him there briefly. He's going to give it a go and back out there to shortstop. A couple of years ago, the Turks had one of their better players, R.J. Faruqi, twisted his knee pretty good in the last game of the season. And really the last few innings of the championship game was just kind of out there on one leg, adrenaline alone.
First baseman is Hunter Newman.
So McLean's back out there at shortstop. 2 runners have scored for Front Royal. There are 2 outs now. The runner at third. Fastball is low to Hunter Newman. Front Royal has done it all this inning. Used their speed. Caught the Turks napping with an easy stolen base. And some well-placed hits. Chopped foul right off the facing of the Turks dugout. Newman way out in front of that one with all that power. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Cardinals have scored in 3 straight innings. Holloway fires. Hit hard, foul on the ground again. Tishner down at third had better keep his head on a swivel. His teammate Newman making him do the fire dance down there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This would be a good time for Holloway to maybe break out that changeup that we've seen him throw sparingly but effectively. 1-2, and he did exactly that, but Newman stayed back, fouled it back to the screen. Quality pitch, spoiled by a pretty heavy hitter right there. Took about 7 or 8 miles an hour off that. Didn't disrupt Newman's timing much at all. He's still standing there. 1-2 pitch, popped up, shallow left field. Eric Keldfleisch has a beat on it, and he makes the catch for out number 3.
For Front Royal, 2 runs on 1.
2 runs on just 1 hit, but really on the base paths. You have that to the Front Royal pitching, a little bit of power on stolen bases. Really a terrific inning for the Cardinals, and once again you can easily see that they could have had more. 4-0 ball game. In all Cardinals here so far, and I think that for Turks fans, the last ball game that we had here was a ball game that Harrisonburg trailed 8-1 after 5, only to end up with a 13-8 victory. So this is definitely a never say die team here for the Turks. Back in the middle, more Turks baseball.
Leading off for the Turks.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Random wreck of Georgia Tech, 3-year Turk out of Smith. Just 2 hits for Harrisonburg so far. A gem being thrown by Evan Pickett. Strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. The Submariner sidearmer Pickett has had the Turks number so far. Way outside the ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. And such a thing as being effectively wild, he's been that too. That'll often keep the hitters from being anything but comfortable up there. Fastball popped the glove outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Thomas Smith, Eric Keldfleisch, and Jesse Baker here in the 4th for the Turks. Hit hard down third base, underneath the glove. Here's one down to the left field corner. Smith will have 1, thinking about 2. Turn the corner nicely, and Smith will have a stand-up double. Hits away briefly out in the right center field, and a sloppy play by the Cardinals leads to a double by Smith. And he up and over the third on the error. Not sure if that's going to be a throwing error to the left fielder, Cotto, or not. Looked like it really needed to be handled, but either Cotter or Tishman's inability to handle it. Heads up play by Smith. He was thinking double out of the box. Run the bases hard, force him to make a throw. Suddenly, Smith from the batter's box to third base. Pitch to Keldfleisch is low for a ball, very close from there. 1 ball, no strikes. The charge goes up here at the stadium. The Turks are knocking their first little bit of offense here in this one. Breaking ball slid outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 4-1, Cardinals on top of the Turks. The Turks have got a 1-1-0-1 hit here. A couple of Cardinals have been very good in that. Fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brandon Gold. Brandon's got kind of a long swing. You think he can cover that outside corner better than most. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Took a little off. Nice change of speed there, and he had Gold out in front for strike 2. 1-2 pitch outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pickett trying to figure out just how far the zone is going to go on that outer edge tonight. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball popped up a mile high on the right side. Second baseman underneath it, and Tishner makes the catch. For number 3, Harrisonburg Turks get a big double from Thomas Smith to start things off, pushing across. 4-1 ball game. At the top of the 5th inning here, glad to have you along for the ride. Cardinals in town, and on top of Harrisonburg, first place. 4-1 Cardinals on the Turks.
Turks fans, it's time for the Domino's Pizza Toss. Tonight we have Tony, and he'll have 3 shots to throw the ball through the hole. And if he does so, he gets $500. Take it away, Tony. Let's get a big round of applause to Tony.
Put a radar gun on that. On Thursday night, the Turks entertained the St. Braves. Thursday night, the Braves and Harrisonburg right here at Veterans Memorial Park. Leading off, the designated hitter, Ryan Cleveland.
Top of the 5th inning, Ryan Cleveland, Spencer Wolf, and Zach Beckner do. They are Holloway. It was up with a little change up, swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. Down and in with the fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Shot down first base way, just gets foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Big inning for Holloway. The Turks have just gotten him a run on the board. It'd be nice to follow it up with a 0. The Cardinals have scored in 3 straight innings using a little power, a little speed. 1-2 swung on and missed. The 4-seam fastball there. And Cleveland got behind in the count, ends up chasing it for strike 3. They'll bring up Spencer Wolf. Wolf is 0 for 1. Hit by pitch last time up. First offering misses down low. One 0 pitch from Holloway. Shot foul, third base. I got a piece of his foot, actually. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the second time Wolf has gotten a piece of his own foot. He's going to learn the hard way. Add one of those little protectors. Barry Bonds in his heyday would come to the plate with about 4 different kinds of protectors on him. He was some sort of transformer, ready for fouling balls off of himself everywhere. 1-1 pitch, just missed inside. Roach and Holloway, Roach and Wolf, the catchers, they've been framed crazy all night because there've been calls on the edges all night. 2-1 hit out toward McLean at shortstop. 1 big hop for the first is in time. I think McLean, little gimpy on the leg there, and that one was right at him on 1 hop. He was as happy as could be for that. We hope he's okay. He's kind of gutting it out. It looks to be. He's got a little limp to him out there. Comes Beckner now. Holloway deals. At the plate with low. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on, top of 5. Holloway deals again. Strike on the inside corner. And Joey Roach definitely went to the frame store there. 1-1 chop down toward third. Gold comes in. Big second hop. Throw to first. It's in time. Brandon Gold's arm has been a real godsend in many innings here. There's no one on there. You can really show that arm and get plays across that diamond. The guys are pretty speedy. High chopper there. 1, 2, 3 innings for the Turks. I think that Turks really needed that for them to get back in this game. Cardinals were on the road here. You get Evan Bickett, who's thrown a 3-hit gem so far. You need to figure him out at some point.
Harrisonburg headed to the mat for a hot dog from Sam's Hot Dog Stand.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Joey Roach lead it off for the Turks. Going to be Roach, Jakowski, and McLean against Evan Bickett. Side armor, submariner, whatever you want to call him. Pitching a gem so far. Strike on the outside corner. Strike one is a very important pitch for these finesse pitchers. You don't have that big radar gun popping fastball. Next pitch missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Weiss is joining me now, and Matt, you've kind of been the jack of trades through the years for the Turks, and we're into the video age, and we're crawling before we can walk, but someday we're going to put NBC Sports out of business.
I'm working towards getting that way.
I'm working toward turning your mic on.
I'm working towards getting there. I actually got a couple emails last night and this morning from different people saying thank you very much, because from families of players from other teams for the All-Star game. Just being able to watch that.
We have a massive budget, so that really. Yeah, right. It's like, welcome to the nonprofit baseball world, where you cut and paste and figure out whatever you can, all with $300. If that. Ooh, the Roach got hit in the front foot there. The meeting on the mound didn't seem to solve much.
Not really. First pitch came back and got him right there in the foot. Joey tried skipping out of the way.
No,
but,
what do you think here? You got leadoff hitter on for, I believe, the first time in the ball game. It's a 4-1 game. The Turks are really set up to play small ball. Do you say let's chip away? bend over as much. I don't think you could bend over much more. Slider missed outside, 1-1.
Not at all. And even when you go back and think about all the famous submariners in the bigs, you've got
Dan Quisenberry, Kent Jacoby,
Bien Young Kim,
yep.
Graham Balfour. Even all of them stood straight up at the onset.
Strike on the outside corner. Good late movement on the fastball there by Bickett. I mean, that's still a ball with outside. It's been called from the beginning here tonight. This is where guys who are adept at flicking the ball foul and staying alive really comes into play. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed.
That was a nice little slider that Bickett had there.
It doesn't necessarily rise, but the illusion to the eye through the hitting plane, it just doesn't have a natural dip. It reaches a flat plane, and that's so different than what you normally see.
Oh yeah.
2 quick outs now. Spitz is going to have to deliver for the Turks here. Low for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. I was so happy for Spitz yesterday to really, with some folks in the building who will realize that he's a guy at Division II with Division I talent. Good to see him have a nice day. Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1.
Thomas is a true 5-tool player. There's no way around it. He's really stepped up his game this year. Last year, I think he was trying to swing a little bit more for power, and this year he's more concerned with making contact and getting on base.
Little flare out toward left center, getting down in a hurry, and a fall for the base hit. And Roach will move up 90 feet. See, and a lot of times when you get fooled on a pitch a little bit and can still put the bat head on it, that's a skill. I mean, you can look pretty bad with a pitcher like Bickett out there when he fools you on a pitch. You know, just change the movement of your hands and still get that bat head on it. That's not a fancy looking hit, but it keeps the inning alive as Barr digs in.
Well, it's a hit in the stat book one way or the other. Doesn't matter how you got it. You got it.
You can get fooled and still get hits. Barr has a hack at it and it's fouled off to the right side. And if Barr wants to get home run number 2 here at the stadium, he would own both of them at that point, and he'd also tie the game. How about that?
I'm okay with both of those.
It's tough to get the ball in the air off of this kid.
Oh yeah. It's like trying to hit a softball player.
There's a huge gap in right center. This ball's hit pretty good to center field. Tagged, and going to be playable though. Caught in fairly deep center field. So Barr gave it a ride, but Nick Sine in center. Gathers it in. A couple of runners left on. 4-1 ball game, and a good job by Nickett to make the pitches that he had to make. And after yesterday's All-Star game, it was really good to be on stage for the whole league, which is really what we are yesterday. We get the chance to broadcast the game and also be the host. So I really I'm so proud of the Turk staff for how well yesterday came together. Your mom was holding chairs and whips. She really made it work.
You can't say anything bad about her. She does a good job of keeping everybody in line and making sure that
first-hand knowledge here.
No, not at all. Keeps everybody in line, make sure that everybody is getting their job done, and if not, somebody's going to hear about it.
And she does all of it without making an enemy, which is
the strangest thing possible.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is. It definitely, she's got managerial skills, to say the least. And I think that the weather cooperated. We had a home run hitting contest for the ages.
My goodness.
Oh, and I was saying to you, as far as former Turks goes, gosh, I would have loved to have flown Mac Williamson back in here to see how far he would have hit the ball yesterday.
Without a wind to his back, he was hitting the house out in left field.
5-something, no exaggeration, 5-something. And yesterday we had about a 25-mile-an-hour gale that was consistent. And for pure entertainment value, it was awesome.
Right-handers were at a serious advantage yesterday. That was quite the power display, put on, especially by Darian Carpenter, the eventual winner.
Anytime a guy's got double-digit homers and doesn't make it to the finals, which is what happened, I believe, to Yasik, that's amazing.
Yeah, Yasik, he put a charge in just a few of them.
He's not even 20. Yeah, hello. Prospect much?
He's got a good bit of developing to go still. That's a scary thought.
And he had easy power. Look, his first pitch has been called that it hit. First pitch we call it hit Reyes, and Coach Weiss immediately going to argue that. Birchfield didn't hit him. Some of the fans behind the plate.
I think the argument was that he leaned into it, or that it hit the bat head on it.
Right.
Because it shot off pretty quick.
Yeah. Either way, Reyes is down at first base, hit by pitch. It's going to bring up Cotto. Left-hand hitter, so Reyes and Cotto. Cotto bunts third base side, that'll get foul. The ball's in 1 strike. Big inning for Holloway. Really need to slam the door. A righty throwing in the pin to the Turks.
This is definitely the guy that Holloway wants to get to, with Sine staying in the on-deck circle. Sine won the 60-yard dash yesterday, and
Won it right back to the hill. Maybe a play at second. Throw to first is just in time. Wow. Once he juggled it, he had no shot whatsoever. And we also found out that Reyes can move pretty well.
well, in this situation now, you've got Sine coming up, runner on second with only 1 out. Depending on where Brandon Gold ends up playing, you could see a nice little bunt and run here, and that could end up scoring the run from second.
Yeah, that's a play there. And when you're head 4-1, you can begin to force the issue and take some chances. I mean, Holloway got caught sleeping earlier on a stolen base too, so they got him rattled a little bit. First pitch to Sine, high for a ball.
It's like Billy Hamilton last week. He 2 strikes, still squared around, got it down, and he saw that the third baseman was playing back, and took the opportunity too.
The bunt has been part of his game forever and always will be. Not with that kind of speed. One pitch hit out towards center field. Spitz will have a play. Reyes will not tag there.
It's nice to see that the teams have finally understood that you do not run on Thomas Spitz.
I'm not really sure how well teams advance scout. I know that there's as you get closer to the playoffs, you'll see a lot more focus on the advanced scout side of it. But here in the mid part of the season, I'm not necessarily sure that people have gone to school on Spitz. So what I'm trying to say is he's going to throw a few more guys out along the way.
Well, with an arm like that, you can kind of pencil it in already.
And so much about the arm is the footwork. You've got to get everything right underneath of you. You played some outfield. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. And Spitz moves well enough that he can actually get back on it.
Swung on, foul back. I'm not sure if I got a piece of Roach and the umpire or not, but this is Tyler Tishner having a pretty good night. He's 2 for 3. First 4 in the Cardinals lineup certainly remind you why they got penciled in there. 6 hits, 4 players.
Well, looking at it, the 3 of the top 4 were starters last night on the All-Star team. So.
And you get it. Pitch glides outside. Double barrel action down the Turks pen, a couple of right-handers. I think Tyler Brown is one of them. I'm not sure they're ready on the left.
Joey almost caught the guy off on second, too, getting a little bit of a big lead out there. The secondary is getting a little extended.
You know, Reyes is pushing the issue a little, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
You want to force it. McLean's bird dogging in behind him. Chopped out towards second base. Smith takes it on a big second hop. Then the first is in time. A whole bunch of guys can run the front row. Tishner made that very, very close. Any kind of bobble or hesitation, he's going to be safe there. So, I mean, this is a battle for first place kind of game. I'm very impressed with the talent that I'm seeing from front row. This is one of the better front row teams I've seen in a while.
Yeah, without a doubt. After a couple years struggling here and there, it's nice to see them. They were around the 500 team last year. To see them come out this year and really push the issue and challenge everybody for the pennant. Hats off to Don Suttle and everybody out there with that organization.
Keaton Meade was with the club. He was with the Turks briefly in 2012, but Keaton's from Front Royal. Actually had a chance to have him on the air yesterday. We had our round robin guest during the All-Star game. I think that the one thing that the Front Royal's got right now that has held them back in the past, they're balanced. We've had a lot of teams that are one or the other, and seldom the kind of balance that you're seeing from this year's team.
Oh, without a doubt. And like you're saying with the speed, they're built a lot very similar to the way that our team was built last year. Just want it, run it, take the extra base where you can, and play good defense.
And they've got a couple thumpers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Before you join me on the air, Omar Cotto is batting ninth for them, and Cotto is a track guy. He's at USC, and he's just joined the team. I'm talking a very valuable late season type of guy. And yeah, he's a gem. And I think that you see that Reyes can play and run a little, Kitchener can play and run a little. There's 6-7 guys deep. Despite the fact they're in the first base dugout, they look like a Harrisonburg Turks kind of team.
It's a scary thought.
I know it is. That's why I'm bringing it up. Thomas Smith will lead it off for the Turks. 4-1 ball game, and we've done so well against opponents' bullpens, but I wondered if Evan Bickett is going to let us get in there tonight. Pitch to Smith is down and in for a ball. Smith had a leadoff double that led to the Turks' only run of the game in the fourth inning.
Well, it's not just that. Bickett's done a good job of limiting any sort of damage.
Chopped high once again out toward second. Huge second hop. Smith digging it out. Look at that play. He's going to have an infield hit there because even if Kitchener comes up with it, he's just not going to throw Smith out. Smith's got average speed, but he's so heavy. He was digging it out of the box hard on that high chop.
He was moving on that one. There was little to nothing that was going to beat him there.
Thomas looks a little faster to me this year.
A lot faster. He's worked on it a little bit in the offseason down at Georgia Tech. And
he's from hitting stance to full speed a whole stride sooner out of the box. Here's Eric Kelpfleisch now. Pitch missed outside. Now, at this point, the guys know you have a wide zone. They know that you're going to need to scratch and manufacture. I would expect to see the Turks the third time through the order here begin to make the valuable adjustments.
You'd hope so. That's the sign of a good hitter.
Pitch to Kelpfleisch. Hit hard and foul on the ground, third base side.
Make a play. Come on, Bob.
Dog and your dad. There it is. Funny that you do that from 250 feet away. As it
would not do it to his face.
Yeah, my dad was a tough old you-know-what, and I wouldn't do it to his face either.
Oh, absolutely not.
Quick throw to first, and Smith is back.
He may have just turned 70, but there's no way I could take him yet.
Yep, a little bit of fire in his gullet. Sure. 1 ball and 1 strike now. 1 out and nobody, and 1 on and nobody out for the Turks here in the 6th. Pitch to Kelpfleisch misses outside. Now you're beginning to see a little bit of trouble here with Bickett. Turks are able to work some counts a little. He's going to have to come to him. But he's really difficult to get the ball in the air on.
With submariners, you got a natural little dip to it.
Out towards center field, Sané's going to have a play. Misjudged that briefly. Recovered and makes the catch, gliding over toward left center. 1 out now. Here comes Jesse Baker. Baker has been an absolute mystery, I believe, even to himself this summer. He has just come in and struggled from the get-go. And he's a real free swinger. He swings at a lot of pitches early in the count. And at college, that had completely worked for him. He had terrific numbers, slashing the ball all over the yard, causing some trouble on the bases. But it hasn't clicked for him yet.
I don't know what the difference is or anything, but
breaking ball missed inside. 1 ball, no strike. This is a big at-bat right here, and Baker is, he's really needing to bear down and do a little something.
That's the hope. Like you said, he's been struggling. I'm going to attribute it to the climate, being from Texas. But I really would like to see him
grounded out towards shortstop. Baker digging out. Throw to second is in time. Throw to first is not in time. Nice play by the shortstop out there. Really struggled with it briefly. And Beckner, quick hands. Took it on the backhand side. Got a nice little quick toss to Tishner. And they get Smith, the middle runner. Really looked like they had no shot at that. And then a good job by Beckner. So 2 outs now. Here comes Brandon Gold. Baker at first. Last time he was on first, got picked off immediately. Throw to first and dives back in this time. And you don't have to remind Bickett of that. He's trying to get him again.
No, not at all. I mean, at San Antonio, Jesse had a handful of steals and everything. He He's not a slow player,
No.
by any stretch of the imagination.
Throw to first, and he's back again. And you're three runs down, latter part of the ball game. You just cannot be taking any kind of chances. He's not a guy with the green light to steal down there.
No, not at all.
Pitch to Gold is way outside.
At this point in the game with Bickett, not even at 80 pitches yet, even with the wide zone and everything, you've got to start being a little patient, taking a bunch of pitches, try to make him work.
Build an inning
Yeah.
where you can get a big fly and do something. Swung on and missed. Great cut by Gold. Came up empty, but that was a real nice locked-in kind of cut.
Oh, yeah. And then that being patient thing, like on that pitch right there, doesn't help when pitches are right there in your wheelhouse. That was a good pitch by Bickett.
Nice little dip to it at the
Yeah.
end, too. Breaking ball, chop foul. Good pitch there, too, because he kept it down, took some speed off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A guy like this, it's really tempting to just cheat up in the box a little. Even a couple inches can get that ball to a different spot as far as into your swing. 1-2 pitch, way outside.
It's a big old slider.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Turks had 1 home run, and it's just so hard to get the ball in the air against Bickett. You really got to have to beat him with a single here and a double there, and you have to put together an inning.
Well, that's been our MO.
Slide for a ball, 3-2.
That's been the Turks' MO for the whole summer, really, is nickel and dime.
On the road, the big flies come, but that has a lot to do with the smaller ballparks.
Yeah, to hit one out of here, you've got to be 100% man and get a piece of it.
Yeah, you got to breeze to left. It'll go if you hit it right. There goes the runner, and it's outside for a ball. So, here you go. Another opportunity where the tying run's going to come to the plate in the person of Joey Roach.
That was Bickett's first walk of the night, too.
Well, he's having a great night.
Oh, yeah.
He's having a
Without
great
a
night.
doubt.
Yeah, so much about a guy that's not a talented pitcher having a big night is about him knowing who he is and what he is and not trying to change that. I need to live around the corners of that rectangle or I'm going to get hurt.
Yeah.
So here comes Roach, and despite the low batting average, Joey has had some fun.
Yeah, Joe's got a couple home runs to his credit, and even when he's not getting on base, he is hitting the absolute crap out of the ball. Just, it's not falling. It's going right at somebody.
1-1 so far. 1 for 1 so far.
Yeah.
Joey is from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Going into his junior year at Georgia State, second year with the Turks. 3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, 10 knocked in. And anytime you've only struck out 5 times in 54 at-bats, normally you're not going to see 204 associated with that.
And Joey struck it again.
Plunk. So the bases are full of Turks, and I was just about to say we're going to get a visit to the mound. Front row is this isn't their first time to the rodeo. They know that Bickett is a couple pitches away from handing back a 3-run lead.
And that's the thing with submariners. When they're good, they're untouchable. But one pitch can
stick.
All of that can come unglued very, very quickly.
Steven Stick. When you have a strikeout to walk ratio of about even,
Yeah.
you walk the bases loaded and then proceed to strike the next 3 guys out and only use 10 pitches doing it.
Yeah.
And, the fans, your father aged 7 years in 1 summer with Steven Stick on the hill. And when you looked at the final numbers, he got it done nearly every time. It's just how it happened that was so infuriating. He never had a 1, 2, 3 innings. Never. The base is full of Turks all of a sudden. Here's Luke Chakowski. Hot foul right side. Boy, he got a good pitch to hit there.
Yes, he did. That pitch was right there.
That was a spinner, right
Yeah,
in the middle
that
of
was
the
a
plate.
slider that did not slide.
No balls and 1 strike. And I don't blame him for hacking.
No,
Because, that was right there. Luke's parents are here, and I was saying already to them, I want to see him do well. Up on the left field line,
That might
into
be
foul territory, and caught for out number 3. Huge play there. Ricky Reyes on the squeeze forefront Royals. So 3 runners left on for the Turks. 4-1. The Cardinals got to feel like
A huge weight has been lifted
a
on that
huge
one.
weight. That was the inning for sure. And for the Turks, we've had a few comebacks here before, to say the least. So got to keep the faith. Back in a minute with more Turks baseball.
Neighborhood hardware store where customer service matters. Now pitching for the Harrisonburg Turks, number 22 from Illinois Champaign, Ryan Castellanos.
All right.
Here we go. Top of the 7th inning here. Front Royals trying to grab first place back here from the Turks, sitting on a 4-1 lead. They will send Shell McLean, who's already homered once, All-Star Hunter Newman, and Ryan Cleveland to the plate against the new right-hander, Ryan Castellanos. Chop foul. The ball's 1 strike. Castellanos from Illinois. His first Turks effort of the season.
We'll see how he responds to the VMP and the dimensions here.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. Nice little hard slider there. No balls and 2 strikes. Castellanos kicks and deals the 0-2. Way outside. When these guys waste one, they're not kidding around.
No, not at all.
That's one of those things that's taken for granted, is that the professionals, they can waste one 5 inches off the edge, just creatively do it. Little flare out towards center, got eyes to fall, but Spitz will come on in, make the catch. Great jump on that ball by Thomas.
Oh, absolutely. It's a vortex out there in center. If it's hitting the air, he's probably getting to it.
They're up above, there definitely is some wind, because the ball Hunter Newman scorched to center. Man, that got some carry on it. So here's Newman again. The ball's in 1 strike. You want to stay out of the middle of the plate. So you leave one in the middle to the 7-hitter, it's one thing. You leave one in the middle to Newman. Slider, cut it in 2 for strike 1.
Newman was in the Derby yesterday, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Made the finals. Took 11 to make the finals because 10 wasn't enough. Slider strong on a miss, so Castellanos. Fastball slider guy.
I'll say this about Ryan. It's nice to see him going out there and going right after hitters, coming out of the bullpen. That's what you want to see from a reliever.
Shakes off Roach a couple times. That means he has 3 pitches. 0-2 and a hard slider, 1 hop the plate. And Roach is probably like, well, you got the pitch you want and you still threw it 55 feet. What's going on out there?
It's a setup pitch.
Yeah, it definitely is. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think the high cheese is in order here. A little collarbone high.
A little up and in.
1-2 pitch. Slider. Going on and missed. And maybe Hunter Newman's kryptonite is strike one, of course, getting behind. And then come with that pitch that looks like it's on the outside corner, but finishes well outside. He didn't look good on those couple swing and misses there.
Well, Ryan showed a pretty hard biting slider out there, especially being brand new to the league tonight. It's good to see that he can go out there and get.
Well, he didn't have, as you were saying in the break, he didn't have a great inning, great season. He'll chopper out to shortstop. McLean takes it on 2 hops and throws him out as a pinch hitter as well. It was Zalewski of Kent State. 20 is right. Is that another roster member problem? I'm not sure. We had no, Cleveland was 34. Ryan Cleveland was 34. That was definitely a pinch hitter. Number 20, but Zalewski is listed as a right-hand hitter. I think that might be where the mistake was. That was left-handed, just grounded out. I think that was a little problem there. 7th inning stretch time. Good to see a pretty decent crowd out here. Yesterday's crowd for the All-Star game, I'm not sure if that was an All-Star game record or not, but it was.
There was a good show of people here.
And they were here early. They were here early to see the other things, not just the ball game, too.
And that's what you want to see out of it. You don't want people to just come and say, oh, I went to the game. You want people to come out, enjoy the entire afternoon.
Really. It was an event. It definitely was an event exactly what we wanted it to be. And a real attaboy to John Huddle House with the Turkettes working the counter there. They fed a lot of people yesterday.
They were nonstop all night. I think I was talking with them, and they sold, I think it was 4 full boxes of chicken strips, 4 full boxes of French fries, and I mean, it was nonstop. They couldn't keep things on the grill.
Fries are great. Fries are really great here, and you also you get a good sized portion. You're not going to get down there and get 12 fries. You get a nice big. Hey, I wonder if I can carry it up the step size portion. You know.
When they get the second tray and cover it, that's when you got the good order.
I love all the little nuances about a well done ball game, from the sights and sounds to the smells of everything. Pre-game, during the game.
When things are done right, you don't notice.
That's true. Unconscious competence. Stephen McLean going to lead things off. Evan Dickett. Deals strike one. McLean was thinking about a bunt there. The thing I like about the fact he was thinking about bunt there, it tells me that leg's feeling a little bit better.
Well, it's not just that. If you looked at where Reyes was playing, he was 15 feet behind the base at third.
1 pitch to McLean, swung on, got a little piece of it. He had a pretty healthy cut there.
Oh, yeah. Looked like a little two-seamer action coming back in on his hands.
And Bickett is making some guys shake their head a little because, Barr has had some good cuts off of him and nothing to show for it, really. Tchaikovsky had 2 great pitches to hit there in the big rally that just got pulled. So, got guys scratching their head. 0-2, grounded out towards second base. Taking on 3 hops for the first in time. Score 4-3 Titchener to Newman for out number 1. And you say the 4-1-1 on Rhodes is he's got a little in-road toenail going on?
I think that's all it is right now. He should be back by probably middle of the week, end of the week, somewhere in that area. Just a few days here and there to let that completely cover up and not rush it at all. It's the last thing you want to do is come back too soon from something like that.
Yeah, I've had that before. It's not pleasant. First pitch to Spitz is up high for a ball.
That was the first pitch above the letters that I've seen Bickett throw.
Yeah, and I think that's good work by Spencer Wolf. He noticed the same thing. Let me pop up and find out what's going on. A lot of times your catcher's noticing that your landing spot's a little different or some of those mechanical things that you're not catching yourself.
Well, they say that being a catcher is the most cerebral position on the entire field.
When it's done well, it is. It really is. Because a lot of coaches run their whole game plan through their catcher. I mean, the real managers. Chopped out to a shortstop, 2 hops. Spitz is digging it out, and he is out of there with half-step action there. Beckner on the play. We're going front Royals way, but the ball game we had the other night with the River Bandits, Woodstock River Bandits in town, 8-1 in the 5th. The Turks were as dead as the Monday's catch of the day on Wednesday. That's how dead they were. And talk about a Lazarus, an 8-1 deficit, 12 unanswered runs. Barr runs up the bunt, did not get it down.
If he gets that one down the third baseline there, that is almost a guaranteed single with Reyes almost on the outfield grass.
Yeah, and Reyes is shortening up. He's still a step behind third base and deepening up some more. Breaking ball missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You were talking about the Woodstock game the other night, and I can't fathom it. You come out, everybody could tell they were completely flat, and then had a little powwow there, and something clicked.
Fastball missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It'd be a different story if it was, a walk here, a walk there, with a little bit of help. No, it was on 15, 20 pitches.
And that game took Woodstock from second in league ERA to fourth.
Yeah.
2-1, swung on and missed. Well, I got a piece of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Barr is a guy that you can see. He kind of flew open on that swing, but I think he's got the potential to be a pull guy at some point.
Yeah, he's a gamer, that's for sure. And he's got the quick enough hands where he can get turn on whatever he wants.
2-2 pitch fouled off third base side. Fooled on the pitch and fouled it away.
To the concession stand for a
I think it's finally starting to close in on that 100 pitch mark. So, if any times there is to strike, I'd say now is
some guys.
the
This
best.
is only his second start of the year.
Yeah.
Some guys that don't put a lot of energy into their delivery. 2-2 pitch is low for a ball. Good take by Barr, because you can beat that one into the ground just trying to protect the lower part of that zone.
Yeah. Well, with how much Bickett's bending over, I don't know how his back is holding.
It is very unorthodox looking. 3-2 pitch. Grounded out toward right field and through there for a base knock. That's a terrific at-bat for Barr.
That was a good way of battling. He got down a strike here and there, and worked it back to full, and ended up getting that nice little that single there.
And so many hits are not about blistering shots. You just got to get something on there.
No, as Jake Taylor in Major League pointed out, the difference between hitting 260 and 300 is one little duck snort, one little bloop a week.
There's your
my Hawk Harrelson moment.
The Hawk Harrelson reference. There it is. He loves him some duck snorts there, Wimpy. Go to first and Barr is back. Thomas Smith up there now. Turks need a little fire starter. Smith, his big double was the reason they got the only run of the ball game. But still somehow down 3. Front Royal really could be on top 6-7-1 here in this game.
Well, you look at the line score, and that'll tell us the real story.
Strike on the outside corner.
That's awful, Blue.
Fans do not sound appreciative of that call.
Smith stepped out, had a little look about. No one has liked the zone tonight, both teams. 0-1 pitch, swung on, and that was way out there again. Smith trying to protect that outside corner in quotes.
Well, the call right before it might have been a few inches off. With his arm slot, though, it's tough to tell.
It's very tough to tell. And his fastball does come back and sneak back on that outer edge.
Yeah, that swing was all about Thomas saying, okay, you're going to give him that. Let's make sure that he can't take it all away from me.
0-2 pop foul down the right side. You can never fault the pitcher for taking what's being given, because when you're a guy who cannot live in the middle of the plate because you don't have a big velocity, you've got to say, all right, what does this zone look like? Where are my safe spots? 0-2 pitch again. Little flare down the right field line to get down for a base hit. Barr is going to head over to third base. No, he checks it up. I think he's being ultra safe there.
Oh, yeah.
Shell McLean gets on balls pretty quickly, and I think that he's another one that, yes, he has a home run here tonight. I'm not just discovering that he's good. He's a pretty nice player in every aspect.
No, not at all. He's a gamer, that's for sure.
Well, 2 times last inning, and now 1 time this inning, the Turks have brought the tie run to the plate. They actually brought the go-ahead run to the plate in the person of Tchaikovsky.
And the great thing about having Eric Hallfleisch up now, he's a singles hitter.
Hit hard and fair ball! Fair to right field line. 1 run will score, and Smith is going to hold up there. Smith is going to come to the plate. He gets away on the 32nd, and it's a 4-3 ball game. That's like an absolute speed to handcuff Hunter Newman down there. So Hunter Newman, that had to kind of look like a cruise missile coming at him.
Good. That short hop got on him in a hurry.
And it was just far enough in front of him that he couldn't run to get leather on it. And if you back up on it, forget it, it's over.
It's eating you up already.
Yeah, that's clearly a hit. But for Hunter Newman, that's just a no man's land play. That's going to bring a trip to the mound and a trip to the bullpen. And boy, I mentioned it earlier that Kelfleisch is a guy that's really good at putting the bat head down and through the ball. And he went down and got that.
Oh, absolutely. And with a lefty, your power spot is down and in. You can spin right through it. Like I was saying, though, Eric's a singles hitter who just happens to be able to hit home runs.
Now, as Front Royal goes to the mound right now, we always see kind of watershed moments happen throughout the course of the season. Now, Jesse Baker is the Turks hitter coming up here. And how many times have we seen a guy at this point of the season or later have kind of a seminal moment in their Turks career? We saw it a few years ago with Grant Gibbs during the championship year. And you'll have a guy who hasn't necessarily had the kind of summer that he wants. And it takes one play where he just suddenly clicks and the rest of the summer he's fine. I think this is that kind of at-bat if Baker can rise up.
It certainly has the feel for that. With Grant, his was a pair of pinch hit home runs.
Yes.
Very late in the season.
He was a swing and miss guy. He was a guy that didn't make much contact, but when you saw him hit BP, you were like, okay.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, you're like, how do we get more contact out of this guy? Because for a guy, and ironically Gibbs was a teammate at UT San Antonio, but there are certain guys that they've got a world of talent to them, and it's just a matter of you got the key in the ignition and you haven't figured out how to turn it yet. But for Jesse Baker, in a ball game where we suddenly went from 3 down to 1 down, and the tie run at second base, this is an at-bat here where he could really announce his late arrival to the Valley League.
There's nothing better than a perceived late addition, too.
Yeah, a guy that just suddenly wakes up and gets it done. Right-hander in, out of the pen for Front Royal. Number 4 listed as Josh Kime, 5'8", 160. He looks taller than 5'8", what's listed here. I don't know if we have a roster problem. He looks like a 6-footer to me. Maybe?
Yeah. He looks to be 6'1", 6'2".
I'm heading over to the Front Royal site to see what their roster says for number 4. Let me check what I have here.
Number 4, Josh King.
Yes.
It is he.
K-E-I-M. I'm saying Kime on that one.
And here we go with Jesse. This really does have the feel of that dare to be great situation, though.
Fastball slider guy in warm-ups for Kime. Great breaking ball in there for a strike. That's a great pitch for first offering out of the pen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, breaking ball for strike 1.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of velocity in his warm-up pitches and came back with a big, slow curveball.
0-1 to Baker. Kelfleisch at second. Fastball going outside. I think the Turks would have called Evan Bickett a cab if he'd needed one. Don't you have somewhere to go, kid? We'll be glad to send you there. He pitched a gem.
Absolutely. You can't even fault him for those couple runs.
Good curve again. Hit down the left field line. That ball's got eyes to the right field corner. Left field corner. Big bounce. Up and over. A brand new double for Jesse Baker, and the ball game is tied. Kelfleisch comes home and scores. And Baker and Kelfleisch trade places, and you're knotted up on the scoreboard. And for Jesse Baker, how many hits did that really feel like?
That had to have felt like at least a dozen. He absolutely scorched that.
Brown rule double, one big kangaroo hop, and off the top of the wall over the 330 sign.
And you couldn't ask for a bigger hit in a bigger situation either.
That was what was building there, and we could feel it. Fastball in there for a strike. Brandon Gold up there now, and the Turks with a chance to tie this thing. Baker at second runs pretty darn well. Pitch to Gold. Nice pitch on the outside corner for strike 2 by Kime.
Kime's arm slot is a little more conventional, to say the least. He's straight over the top.
0-2 to Gold. High and outside, good waist pitch there. Baker really not being paid any attention by the middle infielders at all. He could get a gigantic secondary lead. 1-2 pitch, big curve, grounded up the middle. Well, the first is in time. Played by Beckner for out number 3, but Jesse Baker comes up in the big spot for the Terps. The guy giving him the first high five is a guy who's been really giving them attaboys and riding him all summer. That's your pops. And all right, kid, that's what you're all about. That's what you can be for this club.
That's the one thing Dad knows how to do is he does his best to get the best out of every player that he can. He doesn't ask for much out of anybody. Doesn't make them run. Doesn't put them on any sort of program. But the one thing he has asked them time and again is, give me 3 hours of baseball a night. That's all I want from you. And for Jesse to come up big like that, that's got to be a big pat on old Babino's back as well.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it because Baker hadn't looked good in this game, and he hadn't looked good in a lot of different spots. A wild throw earlier, got kicked off earlier. But, you're still that guy in that big spot, and you came through when you needed to do it. And I really think that was very innocently one of the biggest at-bats of the whole season.
Oh, without a doubt. When you've got a battle like that to tie it up, and then have the back end of the bullpen.
And let's face it, the Turks have been outplayed here tonight.
Oh,
it's 4-4 because of timely hitting, and that's what you got to do. So you lump those hits together.
You can look straight at the line score and know the real story. I mean, eight hits for Pompano with 4 runs. That's straining a lot of runners.
No, three hits in the first and got 0 runs.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh,
how often do you see that?
Almost never.
Almost never.
That's a
And
very difficult
there was a fielder's choice in there, too. Fastball is in there. We got check swing, good go around. Spencer Wolf is the hitter now. The ball's in 1 strike. Castellano fires. Slider. I'm a believer in that one all of a sudden. 0-2. Castellano really did not have great numbers at Illinois, but it looks like he's got a nice live arm. That ball is flared on the right field line. That is a fair ball just on the line. Placed it right down in there. Baker is digging it out, and leadoff double for Spencer Wolf. So that right field line been busy here the last inning. Good example of being fooled on the pitch and just getting that bad hit on it. Good job by Wolf. And the Cardinals are in business.
He got out on his front foot a little bit on that, but like you said, he did do a very good job of using Castellano's velocity against him and poked it right on out down the line.
Going to bring up Zach Beckner now. Be interesting to see on the bottom end of the order here if the Cardinals decide to play a little ultra small ball, push that runner over to third with a sac bunt.
Well, the corners are playing in, so I think they're expecting.
Wares got a piece of him in the box there on a foul ball. One of the calls you seldom see made because the home plate umpire doesn't make it very often is when a guy will fail on a bunt and the ball comes up and hits him in fair territory, and you seldom see him call him out. I think it happens a lot more often than the call is made.
Oh yeah, well, being behind the plate, behind the hitter and the catcher, that's a tough call to make.
Throw back towards second, nearly had him. Roach fires back to second. Put it in a good location for McLean to handle. But just could not get Wolf retreating back to the bag. I absolutely hate that play. I've always hated that throw behind the runner.
Only bad things can come of it.
Well, he is heading back to the bag with all his momentum. You have that going for you. That's about it. 0-2 swung on and missed.
High
Chetta for sure. And he looked like he was going to try and bunt with 2 strikes and then pulled it back. But Castellano did not give him any time to really get himself set.
No.
Pinch hitter into the ball game for Reyes will be number 23, Jacob Russell, Campbellsville University. Big kid, 6'4", 240.
There's a linebacker out there.
Yes. And Campbellsville is Keaton Meade, the assistant coach. That was his school as well. So I think they've got that connection going on. First pitch in there for a strike, and Castellano he's taking the chance here, saying, all right, well, I want strike 1, so here it is.
And that's not a bad pitch for strike one. A slider on the outer half. You can't fault him for that.
Fastball hit out toward right center, pretty deep, a long run. Nobody's going to get to that one. Spitz in a diving attempt up against the wall. One run will score and headed for third base. Throw gets over top. And they go in the dugout and back out. So a triple, and then scoring on a throwing error is Jacob Russell.
That is not what you want to have after your rally inning.
2 quick runs there for Front Royal. It's a huge play, a double, and then a triple and a throwing error from the outfield. I'm not sure if that was Baker or Spitz throw. I believe it's Baker's throw. Spitz dove. So a throwing error.
I think that was from Smitty as a relay.
Right, Baker to Smith, and then Smith's throw. First pitch, Mercado swung on and missed.
Regardless, that is not what you want to happen in that situation. Build a little bit of momentum behind yourself and then have that happen.
Slider strike on the inside corner. Boy, great location on that.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to do much with that. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 big runs in for Front Royal. Fastball chop foul, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Cardinals have rallied. This even looks like a first place game right here.
Mm-hmm. Back and forth seesaw game.
Castellano shakes off Roach, has a sign he likes now. Rolls up and deals down and in for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Speedy Nick Sine on deck. 1 out, nobody on. This game has broken open. 5 quick runs, 3 by the Turks and now 2 by the Cardinals. Slider tried to backdoor him there, didn't come back quite enough. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not sure if Castellano has a changeup. That would be a nice addition to his fastball slider repertoire. Liner out towards center field. McLean takes it on the second base side and falls down kind of awkwardly. McLean is down. He was all the way on the second base side of the bag. Going to plant and throw. Went down awkwardly before he could get a throw off. And I hope, Matt, that McLean hasn't injured the leg that was bugging him earlier in the ball game. It would almost be a blessing in disguise. It would be the opposite leg.
Oh boy!
Everyone is out picking up Stephen McLean. He's walking around gingerly, much like he was before. It's like the left ankle. I think before it was the knee. And one of the concerns has been, I know your dad's been actively looking for another middle infielder. And the approach is never that you just want to bring another body in. You want to bring someone in that fits the talent level of your club. McLean's trying to jog around a little bit out there. I think the fallback position would probably be
Brandon Gold
to move Gold to shortstop and maybe move Smith to third. Another thing that really hurts is the fact that Hunter King is no longer with the club because his back injury has gotten to the point where his UNC Greensboro decided that's it for his summer. So McLean once again, being a gamer, going to take his limp back to shortstop. That looked very awkward. He went down in a very awkward way.
That hurt me just watching it.
And your dad, I know what's going through his mind. His mind always looks a little deeper than just the play that happens, the effect on this game, the next few games. He's always several layers ahead in his thought process. So runner at first base now, hit number 11 for Front Royal, and here comes Nick Sine.
Well, it's not only that. You look at the bench for tonight with Nichols and King still not here.
Right. Fastball misses low and outside.
And Rose still recovering a little bit. That bench is that's Chris Perez and Mitch Petulia right now. That's about it.
Yeah, and Perez is able to play again?
As far as I know.
There goes the runner, chopped out behind the mound. And a collision now between McLean and Gold. chopped out behind the mound. Both Gold and McLean were on a beeline to that ball, and Gold runs into McLean right behind home plate, behind the mound, just slightly to the third base side. I think you could make the argument that whoever ended up with the ball was not going to have a play because Sine is a water bug and he's just gone anyway. So that's hit number 12 for Front Royal. There's one thing I will say, that both teams have had a lot of really fluky-looking chopped hits here tonight that the infielders have no chance to get anybody with. So here comes Tishner now. Runners at first and third. Run in and Roach with a diving play. Flashed his head up, finally found it, turned around, and very nice.
That's the sort of play you want to see out of catcher. That was a very athletic looking play.
Yeah, popped up, really showed some nimbleness there, and huge out. Very huge out. And Tishner was trying to cause some trouble there. You got speed at third and Cotto, speed at first and Sine. And here comes Shell McLean, and all he's got is power, high and tight. 1 ball, no strikes, and I would think Sine is going to play some fun and games here from first base at some point.
Oh, I would as well. Try to draw a bad throw or something just to get out of the force at second.
1-0 pitch in there for a strike and a breaking ball.
Yeah, maybe get yourself into scoring position for McLean.
There's really been several innings. I mean, the second and the third, the Cardinals got one, but could have had more. Oh yeah. Right now, you need to limit the damage. There goes the runner. Hopped up in the infield, right side. Roach on the right side has made the catch. So Joey Roach takes 2 pop-ups here. 2 and 3. Big plays. Certainly a game that could have turned into 8-4 very fast.
Extremely quickly. That was very fortuitous for the Turks to get out of that.
It was. Great play by Roach, especially on that pop-up for out number 2. So Turks still have a heartbeat. Headed for the bottom half of the 8th inning. 6-4 Cardinals here. Battle for first place in the Valley League. The 8th inning coming at you from Harrisonburg. Dave Norman and Matt Lease on the mic for you tonight. In the kind of ball game where play here to play there. Turks could either have 5-6 runs themselves, or could have 7 or 8 runs. Both teams have done a good job of pulling the plug on each other. And the guy just made one great play in particular with the final 2 outs. Joey Roach will lead things off.
Funny how that always seems to happen.
It does, and the odds are 8-1. So, simple as that. Fastball in there for a strike on the outside corner. Gordy Polanco is now at shortstop for Front Royal. See some community college product. Hop foul, third base side. Josh Kime still on the bump for Front Royal. We get these tense games. I always so locked into our game that I don't even bother looking at the out-of-town score. But we'll get to that at some point. But I'm a little myopic tonight. Chopped out towards second base. Funny second hop. And throws him out anyway. Ball had so much topspin on it. Took a little kangaroo lacrosse ball bounce there to Tishner.
Looked like he was playing a little pool out there trying to get the A-ball inside pocket.
That's some English. Oh, yeah. Here comes Luke Chakowski now.
Luke Chakowski.
See if he can get a little fire started. Kime deals. Swung on and missed. That's probably his best heater that we've seen since he came in. Josh Kime.
Who's hitless so far tonight, but I'm got a feeling he's due for one.
Swung on and missed. Man, it was a change, or he was looking for something else.
McLean's still in the game, in the batter's box.
Time is called.
Be interesting to see how he bounces back from that. I don't even know what to call that.
Breaking ball, strike 3 call. No question about that. Josh Kime certainly had Tchaikovsky looking for something completely different on several pitches there. And here comes Stephen McLean. I think that Stephen's got I would say a hot date scheduled, but a cold date scheduled with some ice.
Oh, yeah.
After the game, probably in several spots. Fastball, chop foul, third base side. And you could even tell on the swing there, kind of stiff with the left leg. McLean is going on adrenaline and guts right now. Change-up swung on and missed. Little Josh Kime's got a pretty nice little repertoire. I like the way he changes speeds. Add a little, subtract a little.
And he mixes them up very well. He moves them from spot to spot, too. He's working both sides of the plate. 0-2
ground ball out towards shortstop. Polanco's got it. Throw the first in time. Polanco's got a little bazooka on him.
Oh, yeah.
Not that. Already Polanco on the play. The 1-2-3 inning, and that's exactly what the Turks needed in the top of the 8th, and the Cardinals get it right there. Put a couple on the board, followed up with a quick 0 to make those runs stick to that board even harder.
Yeah, keep that momentum flowing no matter which way you're trying to go with it. That's one of the biggest things here in the Valley League is try to build something and keep building on it and keep going.
Definitely is. The last week, the Turks only played a couple of ball games, and we got a 5-game winning streak coming in, all that good stuff. But you think the lack of play over the last week has got the club a little flatter?
It could have an effect on it. I mean, you definitely need to be playing every day to stay completely sharp. The way that a 5-game win streak keeps you going. Yeah, a couple days off will really mess with your timing and the way you're seeing everything. That's for sure.
Let's take a look at those out-of-town scores. Finally, bottom of the 8th inning in Winchester. Waynesboro on top of the homestanding roll, 10-1. Waynesboro trying to get fired up again. They've been struggling up late. 3-0. The Strasburg Express are leading Woodstock. That game is in Woodstock. Top of the 8th inning there as well. Gypsy Hill Park in Stanton, the Braves are hanging on to a 1-run lead over the Aldi Senators. So these games are all rain makeups from previous rainouts.
Well, with the hurricane barreling up the coast last week, that was bound to happen.
Did a few things. We've been very fortunate there. We've had a few times where the remnants of an early season hurricane will give us some trouble, but I think we've been on the good side. It usually end up missing us from the initial forecast more often than not.
Yeah.
Comes Hunter Newman now. Line drive foul, right side. Ryan Castellano here. I think Castellano is more of Hunter Newman's kind of guy when he gets that fastball. But Castellano certainly made him feel bad when he got ahead in the count last time. Let's see what he does here now. He's got him down 1 strike.
Well, with Newman, he's seen what Castellanos has to offer, fastball, slider, but it'll be interesting to see how he reacts.
High and tight, swung on and missed.
Sometimes that second at-bat's not what you want because you get in your head with one mindset and everything and completely messes with the second go-around.
0-2 slider on outside. I'd like to see a good miss. That was a good miss there. With no one on, don't ever be afraid to bounce one, leave it in the dirt, and you got a guy 0-2.
0-2 pitch. Never leave that thing close. That's just too risky.
1-2 pitch, breaking ball, just got a piece of it on the swing. 1-2. Now when he slowed down a little bit, I think that when he slows down that breaking ball, that might pass for a third pitch in his world.
Well, it was slow 12-6. But with Castellanos, he went with the high fastball, the slider in the dirt, and then that curveball inside. My guess would be something on the outer half.
One run and missed. And it almost looked like some kind of little football or something with some drop to it. Definitely not his high-end fastball, but that looked to fall, and Newman's over the top of it.
Designated hitter is Arlie Zalewski.
Here comes Double Z. Zalewski. Zarly Zalewski. Now that's a heck of a name right there.
That is a mouthful.
And I mean, with that kind of name, with Chopper down first base side, you can't just be average Joe with a name like that. You can't be Zarly Zalewski CPA or anything. You got to be something special with that name.
Baseball is a game that loves characters and loves quirks.
What's happened with the nicknames? Back in the day, there used to be so many cool nicknames for these players. Nicknames have kind of gone by the wayside. There's a few out there. This one hits Zalewski. Fastball got Zalewski on the right shoulder area. He's a big man. He looks like he's fine. Tape an aspirin to it, you should be good to go.
Don't rub it. That's for sure.
Don't rub it. Don't do that. Comes Spencer Wolf now. One on and one out. Really important for Castellano to slam the door because if the Turks are going to get 2 in the 9th to stay alive, big difference between a 2-run rally and a 4-run rally. Completely different.
Well, Castellanos is only 1 pitch away from ending this one.
Yeah, breaking ball in there for a strike. Turks will have the top of the order in the bottom of the 9th, so.
If you're going to start something, start it there.
Sure, with some all-stars. A little flare out towards center field. Spitz flies over to his left a little, and he makes the catch for out number 2. I think that we've had so many close games, the Turks have broken open late. The doubleheader down at Covington comes to mind. The ball game up at Woodstock that Rose won with a home run comes to mind. Really a big uprising at Alden. Yes, they scored, I think, 8 or 9 runs in the 9th inning. It was like a 4-4 game going into that inning. Hit out toward left center, really tattooed up the alley. Nobody plays out there. It'd be an RBI double. Oh no! Actually, it's a ground rule double. Wow, that helps the Turks tremendously.
Big break with that.
Took a big kangaroo hop, and I thought it stayed in the yard, but it got out of here on the big hop.
Gotta love that rubber field.
That is a break. So stopping at second base.
Stopping at third with
stopping at third is Zalewski, and now runners at second and third. So Castellano and the Turks still have a chance to get out of the inning here. First pitch is swung on and missed.
Not anywhere close.
Wandy Polanco swinging in Beckner's spot here. Chopped right in front of the plate. Polanco digging it out. Castellano's only throwing first, and he just did get him. Castellano did not have much time left. And Matt, I'll give him credit. He knew he had to throw a seed, and he threw it.
He didn't let anything hold him back on that one. He gave that everything he had. Ronnie can run. Polanco, he sensed the moment too. I gotta dig. I gotta get this out. We need that run in from third. Well, that took a big hop here on the turf too.
Man, it's gotten dry here in a hurry. I think all the wind the last couple of days has dried this place out like the desert. Both teams have benefited from it on several choppers here tonight. I think that the guy who hasn't benefited from it because of some of the crazy-looking plays has been McLean.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many plays where there's huge second bounce and all these plays that get you into awkward positions,
Puts a lot of stress on your body too.
Yeah. Because you're coming up from weird angles, and he's been through the grist mill tonight on some tough-looking plays. Headed to the bottom of the 9th here, we're going to get another pitching change for Front Royal, and I think that the Turks would probably invite that. You're going to try and hard throw it, and you got the top of the order up.
Yeah.
Right-hander Kevin Becker Mendito is into the ball game. 6'3", 190. From Alvernia University. Now I'm challenging you. Where in God's green earth is Alvernia U?
Another submariner too.
Oh, okay.
I have never heard of Alvernia U, but you know what? We'll see what type of ball players they churn out.
Well, it's almost an advantage for the Turks to have seen one earlier in this game. It is very odd for one pitching staff to have 2 of them.
No, with that one, let alone
Oh, yeah.
is an oddball. It looks like he's got a little bit of a jerky motion too, just kind of slinging it.
Well, top of the order for the Turks, you got guys that have made a lot of contact all year. Spitz and Barr have both had a couple of decent at-bats here tonight. And maybe, just maybe, Evan Bickett was a case study in how to figure something out. And we're going to do a little something here against Becker Mendito in the ninth. 6-4 game that, the John Fogerty song "Fortunate Son" comes to mind. The Turks are very fortunate to only be a couple runs down.
They don't know how to give up or how to quit. That's one thing that I've noticed about this team
And
this
that's
year.
a great trait to have.
Oh yeah.
Great trait to have. So the Turks will have Spitz, Barr, and Thomas Smith at the very least. And I would much rather see two sidearmers in one game than one of them every split 4 days apart. Because you got a much better chance of saying, okay, maybe that first guy was just allowing us to get our eyes on the right plane, or how we're going to do a little something. I think it's always important to make a guy throw strikes. Because right here, you can get a cheap walk, and suddenly you're bringing that tie run to the plate.
Yeah. Patience and contact will win this game.
Bottom of the ninth. Turks Nation has been patient, Matt. Pitch to Spitz. Chopped very high. Taken for the first is in time. Quality play. Good work getting out from behind the plate from Spencer Wolf. Throws a nice ball. Easily handled down there inside the bag. Good looking baseball play. Spitz did not show the patience there.
No.
But boy, as high as he chopped it, he's going to beat that out unless that play is executed.
Oh yeah. I mean, down 2 runs in the ninth. You're taught from a very young age, be a little more patient.
On the third base side, foul. Barr trying to do the drop and run. Reyes has really gotten away with playing
Very deep.
extremely shallow. It's going to be actually Beckner is over at third base now. Reyes was the one that was removed. Beckner was moved to third. So Beckner at third. He's played deep too. So no balls and 1 strike to Barr. Turks looking for a little fire starter if they're going to stage a 2-run or more rally here in the bottom of the ninth. Kevin Becker Mendito setting deals. Low and outside. Barr flashing the bat head again. A lot of times it's just a thing, all right, I need to bring that third baseman in to
Just to plant that seed in somebody's head.
and also give him a lousy angle protecting that hole between third and short, the 5.5 hole, if you will.
Thank you, Tony Gwynn.
Hit hard down the right field line. He turned on that, but it's foul. We can really see some electric power in his stick, and he figures it out. He does have 1 home run here already, but I think when young Christopher Barr figures it out, he's going to hit a tape measure shot or 2 in his future.
He's a very athletic first baseman with a very athletic belt.
And still very young.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch is low and outside, 2-2. He also is pretty good at working the count. So I think his evolution as a hitter is a couple years off. But he could come on fast. I mean, if you break into the lineup, you never know what's going to happen. Some guys really blossom with the challenge.
To me, it looks like a James Loney type of hitter. Gap shots here and there with the occasional home run.
A lot of contact with James Loney, that's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. 2-2 chopped over the first base dugout. And James Loney's no stranger to going 50, 60 at-bats without striking out. That's pretty tough to do against the best pitchers in the world.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the AL East. Back when he was with the Rays.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Christopher Barr. 1 out, nobody on. Swung on and missed. Got a breaking ball. I think it's over top of that. Boy, he had a healthy cut to come up empty there. That's got some dip to it because Barr looked comfortable on the swing and just over top of it. The hole in the back kind of swing. We're out number 2. Here comes Thomas Smith.
If there's any time to rally, now is the time.
Well, and one question that's certainly been answered is Matt Rose even available a little bit? The answer is no. Because he would have seen an at-bat in his last couple of innings. Pitch to Smith in there for a strike. Good job there by Becker Mendito. Say, all right, I want strike 1. And that was a BP fastball right down the chute. You got to take a risk every now and then to start working the count in your favor.
Well, Becker Mendito is pitching with a little bit of a lead. He's got 2 outs. Just get it over the plate and make him swing.
Next pitch is low for a ball, a little flip of a curve.
That's definitely the game plan right here. Everybody's playing deep. Nobody's looking for any shenanigans or anything like that.
Hit hard but fouled on the right field line. Smith trying to dump one in the corner there. Becker Mendito from Frederick, Maryland. Good baseball town, the Frederick Keys. Orioles affiliate is there. Several Turks have gone through Frederick through the years.
Asher Tolliver is there right now.
Yeah, actually, he's back at Double A.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the up and down. He's a buoy. He's a buoy right now. 3 saves on the season for Kevin. Not going to strike a lot of guys out. Actually, excuse me, 10 strikeouts in 14 innings. Not too bad. 4 walks. Good numbers. Tidy earned an average of .64, so he's wiggled off the hook when he has gotten runners on. 1-2 pitch, swung on, just got a piece of it. Smith is hanging tough here, as you'd expect him to do. Turks just trying to scratch and claw, not give up first place in a rollover move here.
No. And even giving up first place in this game, it's only by percentage points. And the Turks have more games to play, too. Right. So their fate is in their own hands.
Matt, I'm trying to build the moment. Come on. 1-2 pitch. Line drive caught! Line drive snagged, and that's the ball game. Great reflexes by Becker Mendito. He makes the catch for out number 3. Smith nearly Charlie Browned him for a base knock.
That was all in self-defense.
It was, but hey, that's the way it goes. You know, and he finishes in a fielding position, and that one nearly took his head off. Makes the catch. You know, really a great look at the front row of Cardinals, and there's no question that we could say
this could end up being the line weaver cup.
They're good enough to win it. The Turks are good enough to win it. We've seen that Waynesboro, despite being up and down, they could also win it. So you know, they've got the pieces to do it with. So this is a ball game that really.
This game could have gone either way. It really could have.
It could have, but I think Front Royal missed some opportunities early on. I was impressed with the Turks for getting some big outs and big spots. But then again, Front Royal really, Turks stranded the bases loaded.
Stranded too many runners in scoring position. You're absolutely right with that. You can't have that many missed opportunities and not get at least one across.
6 runs on 13 hits, 2 big runs in the 8th inning for Front Royal. A double and a triple. Waited a couple of runs. That is the big story. I think that, looking big picture, I'm really concerned about Stephen McLean. We've got a full slate of ball games coming up this week, and he's a guy with terrific range and mobility. The minute you take that's his largest weapon. He's not a big arm shortstop, but he gets to everything.
That's what you want in a shortstop too. A guy that's going to knock everything down and make the absolutely ridiculous plays. He makes the hard ones look easy. That's for sure. There aren't many shortstops in the league, let alone the game, that could make that jump throw that he makes on a regular night.
Yeah, and he's so young. We've had this legacy of great shortstops here, and most of them that have really been the top Turks shortstops. They come back for a second season, and I would be really interested in seeing what he's going to look like as a player next year, because he's just a guy that
he was a red shirt too. That's the big thing.
He's a red shirt at Baylor, so he's going to he'd be one of those guys that we follow and see how he is and all of that, because I think that he's a guy that not only he's certainly important. Your shortstop's always important, but I think that he's a guy that as a shortstop or a middle infielder of any type, he'll be a guy that's an asset for Baylor and the Turks, hopefully in the years to come. So.
Well, with Stephen, he early in the season he struggled a little bit. The first 5-10 games or so. But as of late, he's really turned it on at the plate and in the field, and that's what you want to see. He made the adjustments. He got his timing back, and I think missing that spring season, that was his early season or his first couple games here at Harrisonburg. He's put those long behind.
First meaningful actions in high school.
Oh yeah,
and that's always a tough thing when you're facing guys. But I think for the Turks, some of the lineup concerns come to mind. I mean, we want to see how quickly Matt Rhodes is back, and getting Daniel Nichols back here is going to be pretty important because he's not only going to give you some thump in the lineup potentially, but another person that can play first base, be a designated hitter against right-hand pitching. So definitely some options. So,
and another lefty off the bench too.
Yeah, another lefty off the bench, which we probably would have seen in that bat here tonight.
Yeah.
So I think for Harrisonburg, Turks are going to be on the road the next couple of ball games. I think that I know there's the Winchester game tomorrow.
Another makeup game.
Yeah, the Royals are struggling. The Royals are a team that right now at 10-17 for Winchester, and Turks put 13 on Winchester the other night. And the ball can really get flying up there. And I think it'd be nice to see the Turks really find their mojo again against Winchester. You got to beat the teams that have struggled, not let them up for air. And on Wednesday, the Turks travel to Charlestown. Cannons are a good club. They've got some pieces, in particular some speed there to mess with. And then we're back home on Thursday as the Stanton Braves come a-calling. It'll be Luray Caverns night, and that's a good promotion because Luray Caverns usually gives away free admission for the first 100 patrons to show up to the ball game. I think that's like $13 a head.
Something like that. And it's nice. Worth every penny of it too.
It is nice, and for our families that are in town, whether it's the Bars or the Chakowskis, it's a no-brainer. Go ahead, go to the Luray Caverns. How many times you can get back to the Shenandoah Valley and see one of the natural wonders of the world?
Yeah, it's the only cave in the world with an organ that plays on all of the slack pipes.
And it was also the first house in America to have air conditioning. The house was built over the caverns. They took up 50-degree air and they used a bellows system to pump it up into the house. So that was
a lot of interesting things over there.
Yeah, the Luray Caverns is a diamond in the rough if you've never been there. And I think anytime, hey, come see a Turks game, get a free ticket to the Luray Caverns. What else is going to go right for you that day?
That's a heck of a weekend, if you ask me.
The Turks are going to get a win, of course.
No.
That's what makes it better. But Front Royal back in first place. They push it to 19-9. Turks fall to 17-8. I think that I like at this point of the season, you begin to see, okay, there's no question we have got to fix A, B, and C. It's a learning expedition in the loss, and that's got value.
And you're absolutely right with that. And having the game against Winchester tomorrow, that'll be a good way to really bounce back from everything and say, okay, here are the holes that we had last night. Let's plug them up. Let's try to bury them a little bit more and come back against Charlestown on Thursday and face an upper half team with the things that we fixed.
Yeah, I think that some of the health concerns with the team, you might see some little bit of lineup shuffling and all of that. We will find out to the extent that McLean is dinged up or actually injured. Hopefully he's just got a tweak and a tweak. That'll be lucky for the Turks. So I think he may have tweaked his knee and then later his ankle. So I think that's one of the things about this turf, that when you get your feet in an awkward position, that there's not that forgiveness of the dirt kicking out underneath of you. You sometimes maybe have a little too much traction. McLean is, of course, used to it by now, but he's got a couple of weird balls hit to him tonight that, you just end up in a weird position with your ball.
This turf is completely unforgiving. I remember being on it, and if you plant your foot wrong just one little bit, it's gonna hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised guys don't wear some ankle braces precautionary wise, especially the guys who are not. The guys that are a little bit more clumsy as players. You got some nimble guys in the middle of the diamond usually, but some of your corner players are kind of clumsy from the get-go.
I could never wear them. It's all personal preference.
Something thin, something thin.
Okay.
Not
just a little. I haven't seen much of Joe. I've been plugging away next door and all that sort of thing. I know Joe's a great guy, and I'm sure that he's having his fill of fun wherever he is right now.
Yes, he is. Joe, he's a get out there, do some things kind of guy. College World Series, all that good stuff, and I think that we look forward to having Joe back on Thursday. We'll have another scintillating Hey Joe segment. We'll have some good ones on that. But join us on Thursday night, 7:10 for the pregame show. Dave Norman and Joe Kirkendall. I want to thank Matt Weiss for sitting in. Only the Turks could have gotten a win tonight, but I'm so glad to see the competition in such a wide open way. We learned a lot about front row tonight, and didn't get a win in the process, but I think we learned a lot about the Royals.
Oh,
Cardinals.
Yeah, this was a good game. This was a good scouting game.
Yes.
If anything, you could see everything that they had. With Jake Harper being their other co-ace, and him being here last year, that's a big help as well.
Well, you also learn that if you're not going to hit a submariner, you're not going to beat the Cardinals.
No.
You better hit the submariners because they have two of them.
And in a short series, that can play very favorably to their advantage.
Yeah, just an at-bat here and there in a big spot are how these playoffs are going to play out. So I want to thank all of you for joining us here tonight. Front Royal back into first place over the Harrisonburg Turks. Turks will get at it again tomorrow as they head up to Winchester. So tune in and listen to the Turks on the road. They'll have a probably another offensive outburst at Winchester again. You can feel it coming.
It'll be another offensive explosion with that small field, and when the temperature rises up there, balls start flying.
Yes, they do. Get a pillow of air underneath of those fly balls. So I want to thank Matt Weiss for helping us once again. I'm Dave Norman. Wherever you may be, have a good night, everybody.